and Cyril. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Doing good.
Excellent.
You just so that you know if you're watching, and if you're not watching, well, you know,
If you're not watching,
you're not watching.
then start watching.
They're not gonna see us.
You're not gonna see us. But if you're watching or listening to us, I just want you to know that we didn't just start right now. Like we've been talking for the past hour.
No, I don't say anything.
Huh?
I don't say nothing.
What do you mean you don't say anything?
I don't talk.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carry on, Professor.
What?
Carry on. Don't listen to this guy.
Oh. Okay, so today we're missing our producers. They're not here.
Yeah.
They're out partying.
Wow.
Yeah. So
¿Quién los dejó?
yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to have to handle the whole camera thing. So hope you
Producer
understand.
and
So what's
host.
going on, guys? Say hello, everybody.
Howdy.
From my left to
To your right.
to my right. Yeah.
To your left, to your right.
From my right to my left.
Fernando goes.
I'm Yater.
I'm Fernando.
Hello, I'm Steph.
Gil.
Isaac.
All right. So the usual suspects are here.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody. We missed last week because we were kind of busy doing.
Should we say why?
No, it's okay.
No.
Doing important stuff.
Well, it was good though.
It was good.
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna say why?
If you want, no.
Yeah.
Nah.
We were at a party.
Wait, and I didn't get invited?
No, you didn't make the list.
You don't qualify yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're getting
I'm
there.
not cool enough.
No.
You have to earn your way.
You don't have enough seniority yet.
Oh,
You lost it, bro. It accumulates faster, but it doesn't.
that sucks. That's okay. I'm going to make a fiesta next week.
You're not
And
coming.
you're not gonna invite us.
And guess who's going to be invited?
None of you.
Not us. Not us.
Not us.
But yeah.
So what's in the news, guys? If you're listening to us or you're watching, this is Brian and Salty. We talk about politics, news, culture, and Christianity. We are Christians, so we try to do everything from a perspective.
Amen.
Yeah, so we just comment on the stuff that happens. We're not experts. We're not experts at all. We're just a couple of friends, brothers and sisters having a conversation. So just know that. That's my disclaimer. So what's in the news?
Where do you want to start?
A lot.
What do you have?
Well, there was a train derailment.
All
That's
right.
like a month ago, no?
Well, yeah, that's how long we have been off.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, in Ohio, a train derailment carrying
Palestine.
and Palestine, not Palestine the country, but Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah, because I was confused. You kept on saying Palestine, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it was like a small farm, town.
So what did the train have?
I think it was something fluoride, something. I'm not too sure.
Something.
I think it was something to make like PVC piping or something.
Was it?
Let's just say
flammable?
let's just say a very harmful chemical. That's very harmful.
Very dangerous.
I think it was a chemical. I think once you burn it, it becomes a chemical that was used during World War I, I believe.
It's worse than which one was it?
Then
Chloroform. Or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
It's worse.
really?
Than that, yeah.
Yeah, like when they burned. So what happened is they derailed. I think had 5 total cars of the train had this chemical in it, and they decided that in order for them, I think for it not to blow up, they decided to start a control fire, so they burnt it.
It was vinyl chloride.
There you go.
Among toxins released in Ohio.
Yeah, and then I think once you set it on fire, it becomes this other chemical that was used in World War I. That's very toxic.
It's just really bad.
Yes.
Hmm.
And
so the thing with that, I was listening to what it does. When it's burnt and it's in the air, it basically smells like fresh, wet grass.
yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
And what it does is you'll end up drowning with no water around. Like you'll have all this fluid in your lungs, and that's the way.
Well, you
That's what it does
you
to you.
suffocate.
Yeah, you suffocate because there's fluid in your lungs, and like you drown basically.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
crazy
And
stuff.
and it's but that's the big interesting thing that, I mean, I don't know, but they're all like, yeah, we have to burn it, and burning is how you make that.
It becomes that form.
Yeah, that form. That's crazy.
But some people, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think there was like a bunch of fishes died on the river, and I heard a lot of pets.
Did they drown
I'm not sure.
the fishes?
I don't know.
I don't know. And a lot of pets died too. Like a lot of pets that were around the burn site, they died.
It was so bad that some people are saying that that's why they come out with the balloon, the Chinese balloon, to alleviate all the news.
Did they?
Yeah. That's what they're saying.
I don't know.
Because it's really bad. I mean, it's not the first one. In another parts too, no? In another cities, that happens too.
Well, there was a lot.
There was two more after that.
There was derailments, but I don't know what. I don't hear about that.
And they were carrying.
They were?
Also, I think so.
Yeah. I think two more. So in total, it's like 3.
One was Houston, I think, right?
I think so.
And then the other one was, I don't remember.
It's just crazy. It just seems crazy.
Is
I
the
don't know.
water safe?
No.
So the funny thing is that
What brand you buy?
that the government. I was seeing a guy. There was a government. The government said it was safe to come back to the town, and they had cleaned up all the water apparently. But I seen videos where people were throwing rocks into the river, and then just see like
All rainbow.
chemicals. Yeah, rainbow coming up, and
It's all on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's bad. Yeah.
like so. I don't know to what extent.
Calling it like visible oil, huh?
Yeah. So I don't know.
I've seen people, they're like, hey man, like they're not saying anything. Like I haven't even bathed my kids in 4 or 5 days. Like they don't know what to do.
Hey, have you seen that video when the lady, she throws a rock and
Yeah.
everything
that
comes
one.
from the
It's like
back?
rainbow, all this oil.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, though.
Yeah.
And they're saying this is safe.
Well, the governor was just there on Tuesday, the 21st.
Mm.
Yeah, that was this Tuesday. And who is it?
He took a shower in the river.
No.
Well,
Her
to
tweet
prove
comes
that-
after Republican Ohio. Well, they're talking about Erin Brockovich.
oh yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah, the one from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after her, Republican Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, is that how you say his name?
Sure.
Whatever. On Tuesday, visited the place and drank water,
Mm.
tap water from each, in an effort to reassure residents that their water supply
I
was
don't know.
safe
I
for
wouldn't
human
trust-
consumption.
I don't trust that.
That's what they say, but
Maybe because he had the what do you call it?
The filter.
No, he had the
What?
the cure.
Did he?
Yeah.
What?
What
Are you talking Marvel again? And DC?
what just
This
happened?
better not be Star Trek.
Whatever, whatever,
Are
guys.
you talking Marvel?
What is?
That better not be DC or Star Trek.
The New Mutants or something?
Well, it is.
Jeez.
I don't know. It just seems to me like they
Oh
were.
no! I got it.
Okay.
Not the
Oh, it's
cure.
there.
The antidote.
Oh, the antidote.
Flammable.
What happened?
It's flammable?
Yeah, that's straight up flammable. Look.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That looks like oil.
I don't know. It seemed to me that they were in a rush to make sure it would clean or done away with quick, so it won't.
So it's all clean now? Or it's still going on?
I don't believe that. That's what they say, but
How much spilled? I don't understand.
it was cars full.
5 cars full?
No, I don't know if they all spilled, but I guess a good amount. I would think so.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so the next generation for the kids?
yeah.
You're going
So,
to come out with 3 eyes or something?
I don't know. It's just weird. It's very interesting how it came about and how a lot of people were quiet about this until a lot of people started making a big fuss about it, and then they started covering it. But it was just weird, the whole
It's
situation.
hush, huh?
Yeah, it was weird how it wasn't reported much, and how they tried to clean up quick, and it was just interesting to watch.
Yeah, but nobody's saying anything like for 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of money involved.
And all the smoke, have you seen the videos? All the smoke.
Yeah, when they
that
burnt it,
create?
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not a guy that falls into conspiracy theories, but it sure sounds like.
But that's what I was going to tell you. That there's
you
a lot of conspiracy theories going on.
Yeah.
How true is this?
I don't.
But this one is very true because it's there. You can actually see it.
Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just saying there's a lot of weird stuff happening that I don't know. It just seems like those conspiracy theories are true, but I wouldn't follow it.
I don't have the mental capacity to entertain every
Yeah.
conspiracy that's out there. Although there's some interesting ones. I'm just saying, hey, sometimes they're right. And when they are, it's entertaining. But
Yeah.
it's
Which one do you know is right?
Well, first of all, I would say the JFK one, that conspiracy theory wasn't right. It was true.
Wait, what? Clear that up because you just
That's a
said
lot. That could
yes,
mean a lot of
no,
things.
Yeah,
maybe
that
so.
didn't. I
Clear it
didn't-
up.
I don't know if it was
Well,
my English or
For years they said that it was just what's his name, Osborne, that killed JFK.
Uh-huh.
Who?
But
No. His name is Oswald.
Oswald, there you go.
Come on, Isaac.
Osborne.
But I,
That's from
Osborne.
Spider-Man.
Osborne, whatever.
Isn't Osborne
The guy the one that talk about
One of
Marvel.
those.
Yeah, Marvel guy.
Yeah, Marvel. That's
For years, they were saying that it was him. That it was only him. That he was the only one involved. But
Osborne. Yeah, he was.
Osborne Corp.
What it does is that it makes you green.
what?
And you laugh weird.
Wow. Where did this podcast go?
It went really nerdy.
I know. So that one, but I
Lost the 2 viewers we had.
I know everybody's gone.
Thanks, Pastor.
So whatever you remember, they had a Warren report, the Warren Commission that investigated this whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
most of it, what they said, what happened, including the magic bullet and all that stuff, I think it all turned out to be proven not to be true. And you could see there was more than that. I think the CIA was involved heavily in that
Really, you think so?
for sure.
Wow.
The evidence points to.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Wow.
That.
Hey, I'm just saying that I went and I saw the window
And what?
and I saw the X on the road.
Yeah.
And I mean, my family hunts and we hunters, and there's no way we can pull 2 shots off like that.
I think.
There's no way.
Speaking of that, I think there's half and half to me. Like, I don't think he was acting
Alone.
alone because it's impossible.
Yeah.
The way that forensics show that magic bullet. There might have been more people.
Yeah.
It's more than
As to who, that's what the mystery is.
And let's go with this more recent one. Remember the whole this whole COVID was natural, but I think today,
Oh, no.
I think today another U.S. agency just said that it was most likely made in the lab and released.
Haven't
That-
we been down that road
Yeah, we've been
already?
down that
that
one.
the email show that
Yes,
what's
but
his face
that was
knew
one
about it.
But that was one of the things.
Fauci or who?
That was most.
Yeah.
That was one of the new.
Whatever happened to that clown?
COVID is man-made, bro.
Fauci.
He's gone.
He retired with the.
So yeah. So that's another conspiracy. Remember when?
Where'd he go to?
I don't know. He's not.
Create another virus.
He's not hurting.
Create another virus.
Yeah. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories that might be true, and then some that are just wacky. So who knows?
I like asking people who
Yeah.
are
It's
conspiracy.
just really interesting to know what people are thinking or
Yeah.
thinking's going on. You know.
Like, what do you think is going on?
I don't know.
I think it might be simpler than that. You know.
Could it? I don't know. It might be, but I just it's just funny to me.
I think it's I think that what happens is that you want to find always like a guilty somebody, and
Yeah, that's true.
and
You have to find.
you have to make someone responsible. So why not be whatever is
Whoever has less money.
feasible, then that's who you're gonna go for.
Yeah, but sometimes it do turn out to be true though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't,
But it's just funny.
yeah, you start simple.
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was conspiracies out there that that COVID was tied into like a cobra, the king cobra snake, and that it was venom, and that it was in the water. Yeah, I saw a whole video on it. And I was like, this is way too far fetched. I'm not.
That sounds
I mean, I couldn't even get through it honestly. But
it related.
but was it interesting?
Cobra Kai?
Like for 20 minutes, I watched. It was interesting.
That sounds like G.I. Joe. That's what it sounds.
That's what I'm asking.
It's all
like Cobra
part.
Kai?
It's all part of the Great Reset. All right, so that's what it is.
I don't know.
Like when you mentioned that, remember that video we sent back? I think you sent it to me, Isaac.
What is it?
Where the guy, it was on Forbes,
What are you saying?
where the Great Reset met.
Oh, it's about the Great Economic Forum.
Yeah, dude,
that's interesting.
that's crazy.
He says
you won't own anything
you won't own nothing and you will be happy.
What?
by 2025.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody owns anything, bro.
Well, yeah. That's what.
No, okay. Yeah.
Welcome to America.
But yeah, it's,
Well, it depends. I mean,
just look
No,
at
I
the
mean,
just
well, most the banks own
guys
a lot
wanna
of
go down
people's
a
stuff.
You
rabbit
really
hole.
think you own your house?
no. Well,
No.
Oh, kinda.
you should.
No.
Who owns it?
Who owns it then?
The government, bro.
How do they own
How
it?
they own it? Yeah.
Okay, try to sell it. Take the money out
Well, yeah, they're
out of the country and see if you can.
Well,
do it.
you're gonna get taxed, like you know.
No, they can't. No. You just that's a lie, bro. There's not. You can't own nothing.
Oh yeah, here I just remembered right now when you're mentioning that. So apparently, if you didn't own your home, you would still live in your home, but you would be a user of your home. That meaning, someone else can also live in your home that they assign to your home. I kid you. I am not kidding you. And this was on Forbes.
It's crazy.
And who's saying?
I'll send you the video. You'll be so upset and offended, dude.
Just people out there, just research the Great Economic
Make
Forum.
sure
and
you gotta good people. that
You'll be
don't come
down.
from
You'll be
it.
going down a rabbit hole.
It's-
Conspiracy.
yeah.
But that's where the way.
What do you have to
That's what
search?
we're heading though.
The Great Economic Forum. What's his name?
I sent
the
it to you
guy-
too,
The
Steph.
guy in charge of that sounds like a. He's literally sounds like a villain from like a superhero movie.
He sounds like
Marvel.
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, he has like a German accent,
Why are you enabling this, Isaac?
and he sounds like he does. I forgot his name. Is it Charles? No, not Charles.
Dr. Evil.
What's his name? I don't know. He's the leader of the Great Economic Forum.
$1 million.
He literally sounds like that, Pastor.
I don't even know what that is.
But that's where we're heading though. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, the gas is going up again.
Yeah. Well, it's California.
No, that's the problem. We said it's just California, and we didn't do nothing, bro. You know, like everything.
What? You saw that?
What?
No, yeah, but it's just interesting.
It's expensive again.
But we don't want to talk about that here. That's just crazy talk.
Then you drive a V8. It's not happy.
We should go
Not
with like
happy times.
Don't
should go-
you guys drive like a truck?
V8.
That's why Pastor went
I don't
electric.
drive a truck, but mine is V8 too.
Look, I'm saving the planet.
Pastor
man.
went green.
I am saving the planet.
You know how many tons of
global
dirt they have to
warming.
move, Pastor, to
Coal.
make
Cobalt.
to
What?
Silence.
cobalt?
Those are lies.
Pastor, you know what? Could I tell you something?
Those are
not-
lies.
Pastor, you know.
I am saving
Sure.
the planet.
You,
with
you're,
my car.
Pastor, do
it
you
takes
know?
more of a footprint to
Pastor, you know.
to
you
make
know
your battery.
You know who's the biggest producer of cobalt?
Uh,
And lithium
the
and all that?
company.
Mexico.
You know where they find that mineral, that natural mineral?
no, I
In
don't.
the Congo.
The Congo.
And they're you know who they use to dig up that stuff?
no.
I'm
A bunch of
Children.
they use children and people for like less than like 50
$1.
cents a day.
Are you serious?
I'm not lying.
Is
They're almost
true?
slaves. Yes, they're almost slaves.
This is sad.
You
Yeah.
you know who makes the
No
the
protection.
brand
no nothing.
Carhartt or whatever, the ones that you guys like.
Who makes that?
Young people in Durango.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The what?
Yeah, the brand, you know, like Carhartt or whatever.
They do a good job.
This comes out
Yeah,
pretty good.
there's-
My jacket
there's
is
kids,
phenomenal.
15 years old working in the factory.
Oh, did you guys hear about that?
Oh, now you
No, no, seriously, you guys.
now because you like the brand.
No,
now
listen,
you don't
no.
like the factory.
I have one jacket,
No.
Fernando.
Well, you pay
Speaking-
the salary of 13-year-old.
No,
boy.
Steph, you have internet. They found a meat producer
What?
was hiring I think 13-year-old kids to work
Where?
in the U.S.
A me what?
But
A meat producer,
But
meat packaging.
I gotta
meat.
be honest
I
with
think
you.
I read that,
Oh.
You know,
yeah.
I started working when I was 8. I don't know
So
what's the such a big deal
these
that-
kids were working. I think they were cleaning on the machines, so they would work in the night and then go to school in the morning.
Huh.
So I think they hired like 20. They had like 20.
I think like people like us.
How
that-
industrious.
That grew up in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
It was like that, bro. You know, you start working at 8, 10, 12.
But that was crazy. Yeah, I think they got
Why-
fined. They got
why-
fined
why-
money. Yeah.
Why was it crazy? You know.
Yeah, they got fined 1.5 million.
Yeah.
And it's
1.5
two
million.
places.
Yeah.
In Nebraska
Mhm.
and Minnesota.
Yep.
You know,
Minnesota again.
they said, no, it's too early for people to start working at 13, 14,
Yeah, it's
15.
I was mowing lawns till like
yeah.
7.
There you go. And then you try to hire like a 30 or you're too old to work. Like
Yeah, I found that it was crazy. I think they had like 20 kids or something like that.
Well, that's because that's the law, guys. I mean, it's the law.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, you wouldn't think that happens nowadays, but
Oh no, yeah, that's true. That's true.
now, yeah, it was just interesting.
And then the other thing is that for in Latin American countries, like you have no choice
Oh, that's true.
sometimes.
That's true.
Well, they have a lot of kids for help, for
Yeah.
hands on the farm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
so whatever happened to the paper boys? I don't see any paper boy anymore.
Who reads the paper?
Nobody reads the paper anymore. It's online.
Liability, man.
Yeah, nobody runs the paper route anymore.
Really?
The internet. Yeah, just go online and you get the newspaper.
I mean, they're sold, but they're not that.
It's nice to get a newspaper, though. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that. It's kind of cool. Get to go to the local.
I think the idea of the newspaper is
Antiquated.
it's
What?
it's less distraction. You don't have little lights going, coming at you. You focus on whatever is being read. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
but you don't get the radiation from the iPad or stuff like that.
Is that true?
It is.
That's
You get radiation
conspiracy.
from the ink.
That's another conspiracy right there.
Ink. Depends what kind of ink.
All right.
What's the next story?
This guy.
Yeah, there is a next story.
Which is what?
The next story is the one that follows this one.
Which is
It better not be Star Trek.
Yeah, the war.
Whoa,
Ukraine.
oh,
Ukraine?
it was 1 year.
It was 1 year of the war.
Wow.
I suppose Russia's celebration for that 1 year is more,
Oh, of course, yeah.
more attacks.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I don't know. Zelensky, that's his name, the
Yeah,
president.
from
He's
Ukraine.
not looking too well.
Is he? What's wrong with him?
Well, I wouldn't be looking too well if my country was being attacked. So
For a year.
yeah, but the thing is, he
Press
is.
tour.
I mean, rightly so, right? But he is trying to get people to get into this war.
Well, I don't blame the guy.
But that's dangerous.
He's still out there?
Zelensky?
Yeah.
He never left, huh?
No, he never left,
he's
and
president.
I mean, I'm surprised he's still there. But
But do you blame him for trying to get support?
I don't blame him
Yeah,
for trying to
sure,
get
yeah.
support, but one thing is to get support, and the other one is to kind of instigate it. That's a different thing.
Well, he's trying to get help because
Well, yeah.
And he
I don't
knows. I
think-
mean, he's conscious that if he does that, like this is the beginning of World War III, and I think, in my opinion, it already is.
well, I don't think
whether people participate right now or not, because that's what happened in the First World War.
Yeah.
It was in Europe. It was one country. It was just Germany and Poland or whatever. I can't remember the other
Everyone
country
got involved.
it was-
until it was extended and everybody else got involved.
yeah.
So I see the same pattern happening.
What?
And because we're far from it, it's like okay, yeah, it's happening over there. We're gonna help. But the moment you support Ukraine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Russia has China's support.
Yeah. Well,
Period.
That's an interesting one. I don't know how old that video is, but they asked Biden if he would.
Oh, he's gonna make us go to war.
And he specifically said
If
yes.
you remember,
The United
what was the
States
question?
will respond if China invades Taiwan.
I think he said he's ready to
I
go.
don't understand. Like, why would?
Well, because of implications and interests. That's why. The United States never does anything if its interest is not.
I have a question though. Would it be? We're bright and salty. Would it be unbiblical to say like, hey, let's fix our home for a little while, and that way we can help others if we figure it out or if we fix it. You know what I mean?
Well, Jesus said this. Jesus said that you don't go to war unless you know exactly what you have, how many soldiers are coming against you.
Count your cost?
Yeah, exactly. So you don't do that. And I think what happens here is that you have the idea that, the United States is the most powerful country in the world.
We are scary.
That is the only thing that you go. But what is power if you don't have the wisdom to wield it? What is power? I mean, you can have all the armament in the world, but if you're not wise about it, you're going to squander and you're going to mess it up. And then we've seen this administration do that. They got out of Afghanistan, and there was no
Left
plan.
everything.
There was nothing planned in place. You left millions of dollars in that country in armaments and weapons.
Billions.
millions.
Was it millions or billions?
I don't think it was millions. I don't know.
It was millions. Whatever the
same.
case may be, you literally just armed them. So if you don't have a strategy and you don't have the wisdom to use the power that you have, it's useless, right? Power doesn't save by itself. You can still be vulnerable, and you can still be overcome by the enemy if you don't have a good strategy. The problem here is that all that's happening is always a cost, right?
Well,
The party in power now, they're always looking for the little one, for the marginalized, for a cause that makes them look good. And what better cause than Ukraine and the country that it's being attacked? Oh, we're gonna go and defend them if that's possible. So why? Because it looks good, because that's the right thing to do. I agree, but you have to think of the implications of what that will do to this country if you do. And if you do, have a plan. like a really good plan. And what that means is not only deployment of the army, but also defense of the country, especially when you have someone in power that says that they have missiles that can reach all the way to the United States. I mean,
Well-
I would think twice.
Well, it's what do they call that? I think it's suicide if it ever happens on both sides, because we have missiles too that could reach them. So
Yeah, but you think they care?
no, I know they don't, but I'm saying
Nobody
I'm
cares.
just saying that it's gonna be bad for both of us at the end of the day. And I'm just
But war is never good for anybody.
yeah, you're right. I understand that, but I think it's one of those things where
Democrats to get rich.
nah, it's not even Democrats. I think
I know,
I think
like-
it's the government in general. I think there's a lot of money being moved around, and both sides,
You-
Republican and Democrats, are
They,
getting
they,
rich off
they
that.
just we just try to save like 2 cents on the gas gallon.
No, it's just it's one of those things where I think we're giving too much to Ukraine that shouldn't be. We should be worried about stuff that we have at home that we need to take care of. And I don't know. I think I don't know how close we are to war, but I'm pretty sure this is the closest we've been in a while.
Very close, because
Yeah.
I think Wednesday Biden said that we're ready to go,
Yeah.
and then he forgot what he was talking about it. But
Right now, speaking on
that's what he said. Did you hear?
Well, it's because it's easy to say, hey, let's go to war because, number one, you're not going.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not you the one that's going to be there, because if it was, then you think it twice.
Mm-hmm.
And what's amazing, I mean, it's amazing that the U.S. Army, it's incredible in the sense that there's good people.
Oh, for sure.
There's like faithful, honorable people that will do their job. But we've been through this before. Afghanistan,
Yeah.
what else?
Yeah. You don't want to go into nation building.
Iraq.
Vietnam.
But I think
Oh yeah, Vietnam. Come on, man.
Vietnam was-
I mean, learn from it.
What? Vietnam wasn't what?
it was a dumb war.
Oh.
We shouldn't
But
be in
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
That's
Yeah, I know.
that's the whole point. You
and
know?
this might be and this I mean might be a good cause, and I think it is a good cause to defend, but you have to do it wise.
Yeah.
why would it be good?
I think the amount of money that we've given up is too much.
We don't have enough money. I mean,
Well, it's not even that. It's just before this, Ukraine was one of the most corrupt countries in Europe.
Yeah, let's
Before and still.
Well, I'm just saying before this war. So you're giving money to a country that was already corrupt, and then millions of dollars and millions of dollars in
billions just this year.
yeah,
alone,
and
they
equipment that we don't know.
grabbed
And then I
billion.
think most of it you can't even account it for. So
2-3 billion. It went the billions or million?
the
billions,
billion,
yeah.
billion.
Oh my God! That's why we pay more for gas.
Yeah.
Look, the plywood that we use here in America is made in Ukraine.
yeah.
So the plywood, I don't know if you guys know, but like before it was like what, $21.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah, and now it's like 99, 89.
Wow.
A sheet of plywood. That's what we're paying for that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, no wonder no one's building.
yeah. No one's building, and who wants to pay that much?
Speaking of sending money just out and being ridiculous
Through
with it.
Western Union.
No, one of these. I don't know if you guys remember. We mentioned it. I probably on here before. That one of the stimulus packages that people were raving about. On there was a how many millions of dollars for gender studies in Pakistan or somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah, they have that. Yeah,
Why did we send millions of dollars
because
to do gender studies
what do you
in a
got?
Middle Eastern country?
It's called pork in the bill.
It's called what?
It's called pork in the bill.
That's garbage,
So
dude.
when they pass these bills, usually there's a big thing, a big project is going for, whether it be stimulus, whether it be funding something.
And don't let all this other stuff
Well,
pass.
then you put other stuff in because
It'll pass.
you want people to vote on it.
This
Yeah, like
crap,
you
dude.
attach stuff.
You
to
attach
it.
stuff.
Nobody bothers to read it,
and that's
and
what
then it makes you look really good.
and that's what I'm saying. That I think money
Los
has
Petritos.
all this money has been involved in politics in the U.S. In the last a couple years.
The
that-
last 150 years.
well, I don't know how long, but more than ever now.
Since,
And I think all
since
these.
the United States was built, bro.
Well, probably
like
now.
what do you think? We lost Texas and all of that.
Who's we?
Mexico.
Oh, because they sold it.
That's why. That's why they teach you. They don't have no choice.
Well,
Either they took the money or they lose it. What did they do? They took the money.
yeah.
But of course they're gonna teach you. Santana sold the land, but no, he had no choice. Either he lost it or take the money.
That's crazy.
That's how the United States is built.
Yeah. So there's a lot of money involved in politics right now.
Always,
Yeah.
always.
So
I
Yep.
should have went to politics.
No.
No,
nobody wants that job.
Huh?
Nobody wants that job.
Yeah, apparently some people do.
You know who
Yeah.
got it? You know who got
Basically.
it figured out? Got it pretty figured out though.
Who?
Mr. Lopez Obrador.
Nah.
He's a good president, man.
Yeah. He's
He's in Mexico.
he gone
Yeah,
he's
he
went
should
crazy.
be our president.
He went crazy.
No,
He what?
He just I think they just said, he said today that they found some kind of like an ancient owl or something like that
Where?
in Mexico.
That's crazy.
Bro, I mentioned what?
It was I just read on the news today.
Yeah, you might.
They found what?
The whole news is usually against him. Hey, Fernando.
What?
All
Here it is, look at-
all the medias are against him.
He
though.
said
It's just like Trump.
it
Everybody
says
was
Mexican
against
president goes viral for claiming he has a photo proof of the mythical woodland elf. It's him right there.
That's the-
Okay, yeah, that's crazy.
Here, look at it. See, look at on Fox News. See that?
No, get out of here with that.
He claimed it, dude.
I'll look into that.
He's the first president that actually helping the old people.
Yeah, but I just look at see. He said he has proof.
That's
You
fine.
believe
I
that?
don't care.
No, that's what he wrote. He tweeted it out.
Oh, he tweeted it.
Yeah,
He himself.
he did.
Maybe
Yeah,
someone got his account. and
he,
did it.
he got hacked.
Probably.
He said he found the woodland elf.
He's really wise, man. Do you think he's gonna do? He's gonna.
Well, he tweeted it out.
He's a
Christian.
Christian too.
Is he?
Yeah.
That was good.
Wait, is he really a Christian?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
And he likes baseball.
He's been asked.
He likes baseball.
I was just laughing at that he
Yeah, no, bro. Try to watch the Mañaneras or something. He's
fire.
really wise.
Oh, I know. I'm not saying anything about the guy. It's just funny that I saw the woodland elf. No, he's probably losing it, dude.
No, dude, he had so much good stuff from Mexico. Too bad he's got 1 year left.
That's it.
3 he has though.
No, it's only 6 years. It's been like 4 or 5.
I thought he has 3 years left or 2.
No, he's almost done.
Okay.
Hopefully, the next president will be the same. So
He's already got somebody lined up.
Yeah, we'll go back to Mexico.
Do they?
Yeah.
They have somebody already?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
how they do it.
that party's forever now. It's
Because
they won't go back. They won't go back to the pre-year.
What party is this?
La Morena.
Yeah. Morena.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything about Mexican politics. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, same here.
There's good stuff. Maybe the next president, then we'll go back to.
We should learn some stuff as the U.S.
I'll go back to Mexico.
Would you really move back to Mexico?
Yeah, of course. You think that I want to work the rest of my life here just to be enough, just to pay the bills? Mexico, you can actually buy the house. It'll be your house. Your car, everything. Here, what do you have?
You can, but you have to go outside California
You could buy here.
or far.
Dude.
People have bought here.
Yeah, dude. Pay your house for 25 years and miss 4 payments and see where you at.
What do you mean? They got forgiven this whole last 2 years. People weren't paying rent.
That's what you think. Now they're gonna come back to all these people that got money from the government
Well,
they're coming back.
especially here in California, it's pretty hard to kick you out of a house.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
Well, they're giving them money now,
Yeah,
right? Like,
so-
well, the landlord has. Well, I don't know. Actually, I don't think it.
The landlord is
Has
getting
to.
money from all the people that didn't pay rent.
No,
The landlord has
right
to
now
pay you to
has
get out of your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't afford, like they
can't
do
afford
rent
it, yeah.
increase and you can't afford it, then your landlord needs to pay your expenses
Yeah.
to move to somewhere you can afford. But I'm
Where-
not sure if it's still like if it has passed. I
Wait,
think
hold
it's
on.
still
Wait,
a problem.
wait.
Uh-huh.
What?
Say it to me again. Where is this at? What?
California.
Here in
Imagine a
in
guy.
LA County.
Of course.
Imagine somebody that owns like 30
You know why, though?
apartments.
You know why? You know why? You want to know why they do this?
I think I have one.
What's your answer, Steph?
I don't know, but it's same old, same old.
What's
all
the same old?
Just
It's California.
California.
No, they do it because in their
SoCal.
minds, because you're the owner of a building,
You have money.
you have money to spare.
Yeah.
That's why. Because they have the same mentality, the rich, and they have to pay for everybody else.
Yeah, but they don't lower their salaries. Just think about it. You know, if a person who has like they owns like apartments, 10 apartments, and then everybody will say, "I can't afford it anymore." You have to pay those 10 people to get out of your place.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
That's so stupid.
And
That's
it is
California
it's
for you.
very stupid. And the thing is that one of the things in this country is that you come here, you work hard, right?
Yeah.
You have a good idea, you know how to market it, and you have, the capitalism, and that's the way it is. These people are angry because they didn't have that idea, because they didn't make it, because they're not rich, because they didn't work hard, and now they want to make everybody who has worked hard and earned something pay for everybody else, and that's the most ridiculous thing in the whole entire world. That creates a society of lazy people.
Yeah. Nobody's going to invest in properties, and real estate is going to crash. Okay, who's going to want to buy a condominiums to rent or houses to rent?
Yeah.
Imagine just, I want to rent to these people. They have a good credit. Oh, oops, we can't pay anymore. You have to pay us to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there you go, like 6 months to fighting the through court. People's gonna go out of money, bankrupt. I mean, who's gonna afford that? Who can afford that?
Yeah.
There you go, my dream to become.
Nobody can afford it, and they're ideas that are bankrupt once you put them into practice. They're bankrupt. They're trash. They don't work, and nobody does anything about them. No one does anything about them. Like
Yeah,
people keep
people
on.
take advantage.
It's just amazing how legislators here in California, they create all kinds of things that nobody opposes.
Well, just
Or at least it seems like nobody opposes
They
them.
don't.
remember that number.
Because
there
they
was that
passed.
person for the homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Homeless relocation and the help of them. Remember that high up person individual said how much they make? What was it, $600,000?
They make six figures.
Multi like
They make six figures.
yeah, it was more than 100 just right.
No, they make six figures.
Really?
Yeah.
So an outrageous amount of money, and why would they want the problem to go away? Like they're in charge of bringing solutions, but why would they actually want solutions when that's what they make for supposedly finding solutions? You get what I mean?
Well, it's just like the finding solution, like the homeless problem. Like,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let me just go to my point. Like, why?
Fernando, please go to your point.
He lost him.
Bad jokes.
He lost him.
No. I was gonna make a joke.
Dad jokes, huh?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna make a joke, but
No, I
You
don't
guys
think you
said
should.
that joke.
I don't think you should.
no. What I'm saying is, like they were trying to pass like the homeless. They can go in any hotel. And they have to be able to spend the night in any hotel.
They try to pass that.
Yeah. Imagine, like if you try to go to like a nice hotel, then wait, we just gotta take this guy out of here.
You're like, I don't want that room.
Really? That's what I'm saying. It's not. I mean, it sucks, but really.
But I think it always goes back, like if you listen to people talk about this, it always goes back to making everybody else responsible for the choices that some of these people are making.
Yeah. Why would I have to pay for somebody else's?
But we already are paying for that
Yeah.
because we're paying taxes, and that's where the money that they use comes from.
Yeah, but why would I feel bad if I'm making good money and some other people that are making that money? If I work like 7 days a week, I work hard for it, and then why should I feel bad for people that don't make enough money because they don't want to work? They want to work like Monday to Friday, and then you ask them to stay a little bit longer. They say no, because I got a game to go. Really? Why would I feel bad for people that don't want to make money?
I don't think that's homelessness though. That's
no,
just yeah.
Yeah, homeless, dude. When I came to America, I didn't know that I could sleep on the street and get money. Otherwise, I would have done it.
I don't think I want that.
You don't want that? Why not? That's what people is doing.
I don't think they're living. Well, I do have seen people that have like long washing machines and TVs.
But that's what the people are doing.
A lot of them like it.
Look,
Yeah.
look. All the Venezuelan people, they came in New York. I watched a video the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was complaining because he doesn't get enough money to buy nice shoes. He bought
I saw that one.
You saw that one?
Yeah.
Really? That's. I mean, why would I feed that? Why would I pay my tax? I mean, why would I feel bad if this guy wants more money and he's not getting it? You know, they came to work. I mean, we came to work.
Wasn't it that one too, Fernando, where they were kicking him out of like
The hotel?
fancy hotel?
Yeah.
And he was like, "This is an outrage. How dare you put us in those
Yeah.
hotels?
How dare you put us? This is the American dream.
This is
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Just go back.
Yeah. Just said
Go
kick
back.
rocks, man.
I mean, you know, come here.
We're like, bro, I have a nice boat. It cost me a lot. Like, I had to
Dude,
buy
there's
it.
plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of work here that you can actually make good money, good, decent living. I mean, look at us. I mean, you know, we come here like me. I come here with nothing, and I make a decent living.
Preach it, my brother.
I'm not rich, but at least I have a decent life. You know, my kids and my wife.
You mean you got opportunities in this country? How dare you? How dare you take advantage of the opportunities in this country?
Yeah,
Wow.
I should have take the like welfare and all of that, and be lazy about it, and then complain that I don't get enough money. I mean, I go to the market, and I see people that with the shopping cart like full of it, and I can't afford that. And I ask him, how you do it? He said, oh, just apply for this food stamps.
Easy peasy.
They spend like $200-300 in the market,
Wow.
but I can't afford that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's where we at, bro.
And here's the thing. Like, I think I'm all for helping, and I'm all for giving. Like, that's fine. Yeah, I pay taxes.
I have
and
a
give.
question.
But here's the problem with that. There's got to be requisites. It can't just be like, oh, you need help here? Yeah, you take some too, and you have some help, and you have some. It's got to be like, you can't
And
be a
remember
crutch.
who gave it to you? Vote for us.
Yeah. Wait, you
Wait,
forgot
what?
what you said?
I said, remember who gave it to you? Vote for us because we're giving it to you. Remember our part.
yeah.
Oh, wait, you forgot what you said?
No.
I was being sarcastic because
Okay.
your president always forgets. You know, he said,
Wow.
"No, but
Wait, what?
He's yours too, Fernando. He's all our presidents.
He's my president.
Well,
Yes.
he at the end of the day, you're right. But you know why I cannot say that when before this president, everybody used to say, he's not my president, and everybody was okay with that. Now the people saying that, and like, no, he's
Wow.
everybody's
This is-
president.
People get furious. Look, here's the,
just
here's the
hypocrite.
bottom line.
Go Trump.
Nah, I'm
No,
killing him.
no. What I'm
I don't
saying,
need him.
what I'm saying is that look, there's all kinds of people,
Yes.
and there's people that come to this country, they immigrate here, and they work hard.
Yeah.
That they work hard, and you know, they have or they construct for themselves a good life, a better life than what they had from where they're coming from, and you have the opportunity if you want, right? Are people going to put you down? Some people are. Or some people are not going to believe in you. Some people are not going to treat you good. But if you overcome that and then you're focused on what you need to do and you work hard, then you can probably accomplish something.
Yeah.
And there's people that come here or are already here, and they see this as the worst country in the world, and they complain about it, and they don't complain about what they get from it, but they do complain about it, and they're not part of the solution, but create more problems. And they want the rights, but not like Alicia says, the rights, but they don't want the responsibility. And then at the end of the day, those of us who pay taxes, we have to pay for your shenanigans, for everything that you think you deserve because you've been mistreated or whatever the case may be. But this country like the idea at the beginning, maybe that is lost today. But the idea is you come here, you have the opportunity, you work hard, you make something of yourself. You have the opportunity. No one's stopping you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's largely missing because now you have a bunch of people who complained.
You want to change laws?
You want to change laws because they just don't like them, or they change the laws, but it doesn't apply to them, right? Because usually the people who are changing the laws are people who have private security and they have a good salary, but they want to mess it up for everybody else because it doesn't affect them.
Yeah.
So I think that's the bottom line here. So my question is, because we're talking about this, and we're Christians, because we are, and we're supposed to be compassionate. Yes. But is there a line to that? Because when do we know that we are not being compassionate to someone or loving to someone, and we're enabling a certain kind of behavior that perpetuates the same thing over and over and over? Are we supposed to participate in that? Are we supposed to encourage that behavior by helping people to keep doing the same thing that they're doing right now that is not good? I mean, that's a good question that you have to ask yourself.
But being a good Christian is doing the right thing. So if you're a good Christian and you do the right thing, you shouldn't worry about I'm not a good Christian because I'm not helping these people, or I'm a good Christian because I'm helping these people, but I'm affecting everything else.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys remember that time? We talked about it in this podcast when it happened. But remember that time that there was a homeless person here in the premises of the church, and something happened.
When the auditors came.
Yeah. When the what do you call it? The YouTube channel came and recorded.
Those guys are ridiculous.
Yeah, but
First Amendment.
I seen
First
some
Amendment, yeah.
Christians in those channels.
But my point is,
Stop.
my
I showed you.
a lot of Christians.
I should have never showed you that.
my point is
never
that,
show me that.
my point is that that's what they say, right? Like, oh, you're not helping, you're not being Christian enough, you're not. But are we just encouraging that behavior? People to do nothing with their lives, people to not get help, to not seek for a change.
Well, we've had people storm into church and demand money. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Like you have to. You're a Christian.
I had a person get mad at me because remember that
Yeah.
guy? Oh no, you have to help me because you're a Christian, and how dare you don't help me? And I had to tell that person, I am not responsible for your choices.
Yeah.
That's what I told this person.
He
What I'm offering you, you don't want, and you want me to help in a way that you want, which is give me money and put me in a hotel. I'm not going to do that because I've learned my lesson as a pastor not to do that. And the help that I offer is it's a good help. And that person's like, well, you're a Christian. You're supposed to help me. You're supposed to give me this. I was like, I'm not supposed to.
For the record, he wanted us to pay for a room. And he wanted
Money.
right. He wanted money,
Yeah.
like money to eat and money for, and we offered to feed him, to actually feed him,
Yeah.
and then to take him to a shelter, because he wanted us to run like a credit card in a room and let him stay there.
Exactly.
On his word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're Christians and we're
Yeah.
supposed to do this and we're a church.
Yeah, but remember we found him a place that would
Yeah.
take him, and he's like, I don't want that. I don't.
Yeah. That's not what I want.
That's the problem.
So how do what do you do? So unfortunately, you learn your lesson. You learn the lesson, and you're not a skeptic. But again, it's not my resources. It's not my church. I'm responsible to to manage and to be wise with what God gives us, right? And that's what I'm saying. So it's not being unkind, speaking about this, but just make it clear that yeah, there's love, but let me ask you this: as a parent, how much of your love spoils a kid, as opposed to teaching them to be responsible?
Spare the rod, ruin the child.
Right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. All right. So one more thing that we need to talk about. I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh my God.
Is it good? Because I need to watch it.
You watched what?
Ant-Man.
No.
Why?
Did I say it
good?
right? Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You went to the theater, Pastor?
Santo Dios.
Se sentó en la,
Yeah.
en la
Yeah,
casa.
Is that why you were late today?
Yeah, I was. That's why I was late. Today's Sunday before service. I went to the theater
Is it a good movie?
to watch it.
No, it's Marvel, dude. No. Oh, it's actually DC, isn't it? What is
Well,
it?
here's the thing, you guys. I know you guys don't pay attention to these things, and you guys are like, nah, whatever. But here's the thing.
Okay.
The thing is that these things
Does it have a biblical component?
they mark cultural milestones.
Do they really?
What?
Do they really, Pastor?
They do, and
Oh my
here's the thing.
Wah,
Our,
wah, wah.
our
No,
youth,
No, they don't mark cultural. No
our
If they are, that's a problem.
way. Yeah.
If they are, that's
that
a problem.
explains everything.
That's our problem.
I
Yeah.
get it.
what are you talking?
What do you mean?
What do you-
by
I know,
that-
what are you
that
guys
explain-
talking about?
Yeah, yeah. What do you mean that explains everything, Stephanie?
Well, the problem.
If we're seeing a movie about an ant or whatever the heck it's
And it's marking our lives.
marking our history, it makes total sense.
Yeah, it does make
Why-
sense.
that's why China. That's why
why
China.
we're weenies?
That's why China's taking over.
Exactly. That's
You know,
why-
that is
now you
exactly why
have-
China's taking
that
over.
You
dude.
have I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what will happen to our coming generations. Like,
Well, that's
what-
the proof they're
There you
being
go.
marked. by-
Participation trophies
They're
took care of
they're
that.
being marked by wasp and
That's the
wasp
thing,
and
and
whatever.
I can't distinguish if you're mocking me or not. But the thing is,
I'm not mocking
They're
you.
mocking
the thing.
I am very much am.
Pastor,
Well, that's okay.
they're mocking you.
I'm not. I'm not.
That's
No,
fine.
no,
You can
no.
do that, and I accept it. That's the nature of this.
I would
podcast.
never mock you, pal.
because we have differences of opinion.
Que me
and we
caiga un
can-
rayo,
it feels
primero.
it. Here's the point. Here's the point.
Well, I want to hear Pastor.
Whether
Alright,
we
go ahead.
like it or not, millions of people watch this.
I get it.
Our youth watch this,
I get
and they get the message. When you have a movie that's supposed to entertain, and you get a message of socialism, wokeness, and our kids are watching this, and they come to church, and you have no idea. You have no idea what they're watching. It's not enough for us to say, well, the Bible says something else, because they are convinced.
They're like, so?
They are convinced that this is something that is normal in society. And if no one speaks against it, and that's the thing, you need to understand, entertainment today is the disguise for the message. Is disguise for whatever social, ethical, moral message people want to tell us. And if we're ignorant to that, anything, even the shows that we watch on TV, then we're missing the point. We need to be aware of these things. Now,
I agree.
You have a movie that is making millions of dollars that our kids want to watch, right?
They
and
can't.
and they're getting messages like, "Oh, socialism." There's a line in the movie that says, "I know socialism is a loaded or heavy word, something like that."
Is it really?
Yeah, and there, I mean, the whole movie has to do with the ants working together, socialism, right?
Yeah, but
But at the
socialism-
beginning, I know you know this, I know this. Our kids don't know this.
it's a
Our kids don't know this.
I see
And-
Pastor's
And
viewpoint.
no
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
tells them. No one talks about
So
it.
yeah, I think you had said the way you said it was yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I retract.
So again,
I retract.
It's a trope. For example, Disney is very influential, whether we like it or not. Maybe because you don't have kids, maybe it's because it doesn't appeal to you, but it appeals.
probably is a
It
different
appeals
generation.
to a
That's
lot
what
of
it is.
people. But when you have Disney movies and you have this character who is an activist, who disrespects like her dad, because Ant-Man, the guy, like the parent, he's disrespected. Like he literally saved the world. He sacrificed himself, and she makes him like a clown. She makes him like, oh, what you did is not important, and now you're not doing anything with your life. And that's a trope within Disney, and with every single teenager is represented in that way. They know more than the parents. They're very disrespectful. The parents are not doing anything, or they're not doing enough, but they are. They're activists. Like, for example, she got arrested, right? She gets arrested because she's protesting.
Oh, I haven't watched the movie.
What-
You ruined it. Spoiler alert,
This is
everybody.
just the first scene. This is a teenager.
Uh-huh.
So she went to protest, according to the movie. She was protesting because they were kicking some homeless people,
Yeah, that was a good cause.
right, out of their home,
Uh-huh.
and she was peacefully protesting, and she got arrested because she
Okay.
was peacefully protesting.
Uh-huh.
So in response to that, she basically assaults one of the police cars.
Oh wow.
She gets out of jail,
Uh-huh.
and there's no consequences. There's nothing. Nothing happens because she's doing something good. And as long as she has a good cause, she can do whatever she wants. Now, that's a movie, but that's the reality of the world. That's the message. What you're telling our kids is you can do whatever you want as long as it's a good cause.
Yeah.
You know, there are no consequences. And to me, that's a problem. That's like the biggest thing. Beyond like the fantasy and the special effects and the heroics, now you start seeing that it's full of this stuff. It's full of this stuff. And then you have parents that they have no idea what their kids are watching. They don't understand what they're watching. And here's the problem. They're being brainwashed.
Are they really, Pastor?
Pastor, could I ask
I
you,
think we're looking
Pastor?
too much into
Pastor-
it.
Yeah,
No,
for
no,
the
hold on,
yeah. No, but,
Hold on.
but we gotta clarify.
No,
too.
hold on.
Wait, his original statement.
No, hold on.
It was different from what he just
No,
explained.
I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ask you a serious question here.
I don't know. Is it serious?
No, it is, and it's not. I'm not denying your
Are
point.
you activist?
No, I'm not denying your point. I could agree with you that whatever they're trying to push a point out for sure.
Who gets influenced?
But I'm going back to that point. I don't know if I'm a different generation,
Yeah,
or I was,
we're
or
not
I
weenies.
just
You
grew
are
up,
a different
or I
generation.
just grew up differently. But I can't remember a point in my life
You did.
where I watched a movie and said, "You know what? I think I might go do that."
Oh, that's
Okay,
correct.
okay.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
No, like I'm just saying. I'm honestly asking the question. Like I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna answer really fast, really quick.
Answer really fast and really quick.
Before I met you, you wear Dodgers hat.
Yeah, I still do.
Dodgers their jerseys. After you start watching Yellowstone, you only wear cowboy boots.
I've always worn boots.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about Isaac.
Okay.
So that means
Actually, I wore cowboy boots before Yellowstone.
by
Actually,
the show, because he started dressing like the actors, like a cowboy. And before he was like a Dodgers all the way.
You're a poser, bro.
wow, call me out.
Well done, Fernando.
I actually had cowboy boots before Yellowstone.
No,
No,
I,
I
don't.
didn't.
I
I did.
not remember.
The ones you have on, I bought before that, and you know that's the point. You know that, right?
Hey, Steph, can you tell? I've worn cowboy boots even before that.
Yeah,
so.
but he wasn't saying anything about it.
Okay. I don't want to fall. Hey, Fernando, hey, yo me tuve que defender. I had to defend myself. Like, whoa.
I'm just saying, like
I was
I'm
gonna say something about Isaac, but then never mind.
Go say it.
Oh,
I have
God.
to.
Because I was actually defending you.
Go for it.
No, but I'm just saying.
I have to agree with Pastor because I have kids
Mm-hmm.
and I have to see what my kids like watching.
Oh, I agree with that. You have to see what they watch.
So therefore, you cannot say no. I don't think it's.
I'm not saying
It does because even you, like before, I remember you. You just Dodgers.
No, hold on. I never wore a jersey. I could tell you that right now.
It was you, Valverde.
I wear hats. Hats I do wear for sure.
Todo el grupo, Valverde, Franco, all of them.
What?
Move.
Oh, no, hats I always wear. I still wear Dodger hats.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you don't dress like you dress now.
You're influenced.
Yeah,
I think regardless of
because you see me on Sundays. and I do
regardless
wear
of
cowboy
anything, regardless of
Yeah,
anything.
because during the weekdays you work UPS.
Yeah, and I wear usually tennies too.
Yeah, I believe it's really hard to work in cowboy boots and UPS.
It is not.
Regardless of anything, like, hey, listen, we're going besides the point. I know what you mean, but what you have to understand is, I think as the church has failed to understand a lot of times the means by which indoctrination comes.
Okay.
But that sounds like
Yeah.
sounds like they're out to get us. And I think again we're kind of contradicting ourselves because we're saying if that's what it is, then we're shifting responsibility again to what the media is bringing into my life, into our youth's life. When the responsibility is, I don't have kids, but in that time, it was my parents' responsibility to say, you get to watch this, you don't get to watch this. But I will say, and I feel like I'm screaming, but I'm not screaming, I'm not mad.
You are.
I don't recall my parents saying, I'm going to go watch a movie before you get to watch it. Like, it was just, I don't know what it is. It kind of doesn't look good, so you're not going to watch it. And that was it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that was my childhood growing up.
Yeah.
I'll
And
provide a different
obviously, I
aspect.
I got to the age where it's like, okay, I was taught what I needed to know,
Did you
what
ever
my
went
morals
to
and my
Disneyland when you
values.
were a child?
And then, yes. And then I had to make my choice. At least that's what, I was taught. This is what we believe. This is what you do. This is wrong. And this is right. You get to make a choice because I'm not with you at school. I'm not with you with your friends, That was my thing growing up. And maybe that's why I don't see it the way that you guys see it as parents.
But
Like, I don't
we're not.
understand
I don't think we're denying the fact that,
Right.
of course, they're gonna use the media.
You're not. The
movies.
problem is that you're not denying it. You're belittling it.
No, I'm not. I'm not believing it.
No, we're not.
No,
we're not
just
saying that. But we're just saying we don't understand that side.
Yeah.
Because that's not how we.
Or that's not how it happened to me. Like I never
Yeah.
saw a movie and say, okay.
But we're not saying it's any less.
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying. We're just saying we don't understand.
Of course, you gotta know what you're watching for
Yeah,
sure.
I think you're treating it as nothing, and that worries me.
No, I'm not saying three as nothing.
I think you're making
I'm just
it
trying to- I'm
irrelevant when I think it's absolutely important.
No, I'm not irrelevant at all.
I think you're
very
making
important.
a little when in reality.
What I'm
it's a
trying
huge
to-
thing.
Clowning. I like it. I like it.
what I'm trying to say is,
You have him up against the ropes. Keep going.
no. What I'm trying to say is, I think we should not say belittle it, but I don't think our youth, especially if parents talk to them, and if they show a good example at home, I think they're some. That's not all of them. Some are old, wise enough to say, you know what, I understand that's going on in society, but I'm pretty sure if you raise
Okay,
it
let
right,
me
they
ask you this.
understand that
Let me
you have
ask you-
there's
let me give you-
consequences to your
Let me
actions.
give you a perspective. Let me ask you this: have you ever had any youth come to you and say, "Hey, in my school, so and so and so are doing so and so, and why does the church think that's wrong?"
No, I haven't. Not to me.
But
Not 3%.
again, I'll be maybe that's not the correct word to say, but devil's advocate. I think it's not a fair it's not an even playing field. You know what I mean? Because the youth is not going to come up to us and ask us that, and maybe that's why we're like, what?
Yeah, maybe that's
You know,
why.
I think I just grew up.
Maybe the
differently.
problem. Maybe the
I think I
problem
just
is-
grew up.
Maybe the
differently.
problem is that we leave youth leadership to youth leadership as opposed to the whole church. It is the whole church that's supposed to
I don't
be
want to
involved.
I don't wanna deal with it.
Now. I don't
my problem.
want to work with you.
Parents.
Yep.
Parents for sure.
They have mom
But
and
I
dad.
no, I'm not saying don't leave it. The church helps us for sure.
Okay, fine. Let's leave it. You know what? I'm dismantling the youth ministry.
No.
We don't need youth ministry.
Yes, we do.
We don't need people who
we
have the
do.
heart for them.
No.
We just leave it to the parents to do it, and
Pastor.
we're gonna have them do it
That's not
because
what we're
That's not
they
what
know
we're saying.
everything,
That's
and the
not
church,
what we're
the church is
saying.
relevant. No, if you think that the future of the church, which is the youth, only has to be in the hands of parents,
We're not saying
church
that.
is irrelevant. And if you
not
think
saying that.
it
not what
it
we're
only
saying.
pertains
No, we're not saying
to the youth leadership, and I have nothing to do with it,
No.
then you're also wrong.
If we
Because
had
it's a
nothing
community
to
of
do with
faith.
it,
I understand
if
that.
we
What
had
happens
nothing
to them-
do with it, we
what
would
happens to
not
them is
be
important to
acting
us.
in the roles that we do.
Yeah.
Right? If we would not care about the future of the church,
But you
which
just
is
said it.
youth,
We didn't say
No.
we didn't care.
we didn't say that.
We said they didn't come
I know
up
you
to
didn't
us.
say that.
We're
we
saying
said that they didn't come
No,
up to
hold
us.
on.
You put
That's
it in
hold
words,
on.
but-
You guys have
but-
talked. Hold on. Hold
I
on.
haven't
Hold on.
talked.
Hold
I
on.
haven't talked.
Yes, you have. The whole thing. Let's rewind.
Oh my god! You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean?
but it's not fair what
It
you're
upsets
saying.
me.
You know what?
It upsets me.
No.
I'm not gonna care about it.
I just said that they. I just said you asked the question and they come up to me. I said no, they haven't. Never have I had that.
That's all I
And
have.
that's because probably I don't have that relationship with them, or probably
Exactly.
they don't see me as the person they could come and talk to. But I have never had that conversation with somebody.
But it's fair to say that you.
Do they
have
ask questions like that? Because
It is.
I'm
fair to
around
say-
them. They never asked that before.
Is the fair to what?
to say that we have invested in the youth.
And I never
That they
said.
don't ask us that.
I never said you.
But,
I never
but
said you
that's the
didn't.
conclusion you're taking.
No,
when
my
you say,
conclusion
"I
is
don't do
my conclusion is what I'm saying is that we can't just leave it to somebody else to do.
We're
it.
not
That if
saying
they
to leave it to
come-
somebody
We're
else.
not
If they come,
saying
no,
that.
listen. If they come, every single person in the church is responsible. I think
For
Okay.
sure.
to
I
pray
agree
for
with
the
that.
next generation.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We're not saying that.
To care for the problematic.
If we don't think like
To
that,
be
we
a-
fail as a church.
Huh?
If we don't think like that, we fail as a
Well,
church.
yeah, that's what he
Everybody's
said.
doing their own thing.
Yeah, because like,
that doesn't pertain to me.
What's the
That's
point to
them.
go to church?
Yeah, well, you guys are taking out of.
Here, I do have I do only have one, and maybe you guys agree.
You know what?
He quits the podcast.
Someone is salty today. I'm just kidding.
That's a different kind of salty.
Okay, go.
Hey, I have, yeah. Here's the thing. And this is just my upbringing, and like we're
Okay, before you say
new.
that,
we're new. No. I want to finish
interrupt you.
first.
Before you say that, just because it worked for you doesn't mean that
I'm not-
everybody
no, well, of course
has the
not.
same
Of course not.
consistency.
Pastor, but that's
But it's a different
But
viewpoint.
that's
Yeah.
why we say that was just we make it specific to ourselves, and we're not applying it to anybody,
Yeah.
anyone else's kids. We're just saying we cannot understand what you guys are talking about and the lane that you guys are in. First of all, because we're not in the lane,
And we don't have
Second
kids.
of all, because our upbringing was not like that. So it's not like we can sit here and say, yeah, we agree. Like, no, tell me more. But just so you know, I don't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look,
But you
look,
guys
they didn't
worry about
sit
it
me
because
down and
you guys,
and
you guys are
discuss.
busy working.
leading a ministry. You should go. You should worry
Nah,
about
that's
it.
that's a whole.
It's not that I'm not worried about it. It's that I
Yeah.
want. I
You
would
should-
rather.
You should be. You should be worried and try to be like a role model for people.
Yeah,
for-
and
Well, we are.
We are trying to.
But
We are
no,
trying
because
to.
if you said, you know what, it's not my problem. It's just-
My walk,
We didn't say,
We
hold on. We
never
never said it's not a
said
problem.
that.
my
They
Christian
never-
walk
they
cost me a
didn't
lot.
say that. They didn't say that. That's true.
Yeah, hey, my Christian walk
agree.
cost
Yeah.
a lot. It sucks. Like like I lost a lot. I lose a lot by like trying to living that way. I'm not sitting here saying I do. I want like it's all. No, I know that takes a big responsibility, and I have to do it. And there's times where I don't want to do it, but none the least I do it because there is a calling there, and there is responsibility, like I said. But now, what I was just trying to get to is that hey, I don't blame youth leaders or like ministry leaders for the like downfall of the youth. If they, you know what I mean, I do blame the parents if the children are disrespectful. I do blame the parents if the children continue to make bad decisions over and over and they are still children. I do blame the parents only because of my own experience. So because I knew it was like, hey, you either do it right or I'll make you do it right. And it was I'll do it right, no problem. But they weren't over here blaming my teacher. They weren't over there blaming this. They weren't over there blaming that. And that's what worked for me. So when I get, but their influence here, I'm like, whoa, you must have it real easy at home because I don't care what influences you. This is the way you're gonna walk, and you're gonna walk in a straight line. And that's the only thing that worked for me. Now, it might be different, but I don't know.
You know what? I'm out of here.
I think we're saying is just it was different for us. Like for me, it wasn't so much what. Yeah, like I had limits to what I could watch and not watch, but also I think the most impact that I got is watching the daily life of my parents. It wasn't so much they would tell me, hey, don't do this because of that. It was just watching their walk. I think that's more impactful when you see, firsthand how to be a follower of Christ.
I don't think. Here's my point. I don't think we should underestimate the influence of the media.
I understand
and
that.
entertainment.
I understand that.
That's my whole point here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if I scream,
No.
it doesn't affect.
Hold on.
If it doesn't affect you, and you're fine.
It does.
with
No,
it does.
though.
It does affect us.
It
Pastor.
Of course
does.
it does, right?
It does.
So imagine someone who doesn't
Yeah.
have the fortitude, the mental capacity, the spiritual strength
I
to resist this thing. Now you're saying, yeah, as the parents, I agree.
Uh-huh.
I agree 100% with you guys.
Yes.
I agree 100% with you guys that it should be the parents because I'm a parent. I do agree that. But I also know and I'm aware that not every parent is going to do it.
I understand
Yeah.
that.
that
I
as a
understand
church
that.
we have a
We have
We have to
yeah.
be the safety guard. I understand that.
that's the word.
Yeah.
Is the safety net
Yeah.
in which they
Yes,
fall.
I understand.
Yeah.
And you need to have discernment because sometimes, even if they don't say anything, and even if you know them, they might be broken. My point is that we can't underestimate the importance and the influence of that because that's what they're submerged on.
I guess.
They're
yes.
You're not on your phone like 24/7.
No.
I'm not on my phone 24/7. But this generation is.
Wow.
And I agree with you.
That's scary.
I just think that our influence should be bigger than that influence.
I agree with you.
What did Fernando say? He hasn't said anything in a little bit.
No, you know what?
But you guys don't let me. They're
You
like,
guys, the last time I do this podcast, obviously we can't have difference of opinion because you know what?
I still love you, Pastor.
that's what it's all about. We weren't supposed to agree on everything. But
I'm hurt.
But what
I need a crying room. I need to go lock myself,
Who's interrupting you, Fernando?
cry,
Pastor is
and then come back.
Pastor's in
The good thing is that this is recorded, so we'll go back and watch it and see
Who was
what
right and who was
really
wrong.
happened.
Who interrupted who? Go, Fernando. I want to hear Fernando. He usually said something funny.
So the movie is not good.
That's what he was waiting for. He just wants to see if he wants to.
No. Because to be honest, and I gotta be really honest with you guys. What worries me is what I understand, but what you guys said that, we should not worry about like.
No, we didn't say we should.
No,
That's what what I get.
yeah. I apologize that you misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
If I allowed that to, no,
It did sound like it's not our problem.
No, we didn't say that.
That's what it sounds.
I was
like.
asking.
that's what you guys said. It's
yeah,
not a problem.
no,
The
kick
parents-
me out right now.
Like, is the
If
parent-
you guys
is the
let me
parents' problem.
speak,
No.
I will finish what I was saying.
Here's what you need to understand.
Just because he's the pastor, I let him.
No,
But this is
just between. I want to put the camera here. You two, Stephanie, who's not here, Fernando, right here. You have to understand whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
You're the role models.
I agree.
No,
with that.
listen to
I
me.
agree with that.
They're looking at you.
Yes, I know.
They're looking at you how you act during service,
Yeah.
if you worship, if you listen, how you treat people. These kids admire you, and you don't get that.
you guys don't care, and that really
and
sad.
that-
No,
That's not-
no.
it
My
is sad.
heart
It
is
is sad.
broken.
He's lying.
Do you need a crying room?
What heart, bro? What heart?
My heart is broken right now because I've got to be honest with you guys.
That's more-
This is what I get.
that's
This is what.
humorous.
Let me finish. This is what I get. It's not our problem. It's the parents' kid.
No,
This is what you guys said.
That's what I said.
no. That's what I didn't say that.
Well, this is what I got, and that worries me is because my daughter worked with you guys.
She's a nice girl.
She is a nice girl, and
You know what she reflects? You and your wife.
Yes, yes.
Every time I tell her, you respect your leaders. You see, you do what.
But
they ask you.
proving our point.
You're
though.
proving my point, Fernando.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
You just proved my point, bro. She's respectful, dude.
Let me finish.
And I was like, hey.
Let me finish.
Oh.
Let me finish.
Let him finish.
My God, you know why I tell him that? Because I thought you guys care.
Wait,
But
wait,
now
wait,
that I
hold on.
know,
Now you're
I'm
gonna be
not
like,
gonna say
do
that.
what you want, Lee.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say, Jalen, do not listen what they have to say to you because it's not their responsibility. And they're not gonna give you the right advice because they.
If they say A, you play it on B.
yeah. if they say you sing it like this, you sing it like that.
Estamos como estamos.
I think that's what it worries me.
Hey, Fernando, thank you.
That's just
I
my
could not have illustrated it like him.
To me,
It was.
My point exactly.
yeah, but to me the point is this: the point is that you miss the influence you have over them.
Yeah.
We're
You
not
miss
saying
it.
that. We're not
No,
minimizing that.
no. I'm not saying that you're saying it.
Yeah.
I think you do. I think you
I'm
think
just gonna
there's
tell
no.
Jalen not to respect anybody.
I think you think you have no relevance, but they do look up to you.
I understand that.
The youth, they do look up to you guys, and I think you have to consider that.
Can I tell you something?
My daughter,
That's
no.
scary.
It is scary,
That's
but
scary.
it's not bad. It's not. a bad
Jalen,
thing.
if you're watching, do not do that anymore.
we have
and then that's why. That's why.
That's why they can find the.
Ah, that makes sense.
I think Fernando proved that point.
Hey, thank you, Fernando. That's
Both
you.
sides.
Yeah.
That's full
I did not. I
was like-
I did not prove your point because I don't think every parent says, you know what?
You're right.
Whatever.
Wait,
Just let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you guys didn't went to school or something. Look, this is the problem with this generation. When I was little, is when somebody's speaking, you shut up, you quiet into the paper.
hey, you know.
No.
Wow.
But look, beep. What was I saying?
I don't know what you were trying to say.
What? To prove the point, because I don't think every parent says, whatever they say, they'll do that. I think all the parents say, you know what? They're the leaders, so respect them and do what they ask you to do because they're the leaders. Therefore, they're the leaders for a reason. So nobody's saying that, okay, we leave all the job for the leader. No, that's wrong. I used to work with the youth.
Yeah.
And I used to tell every parent, it's not my job to correct. It's in your house,
Yeah.
which is helping you. So every time we try to be a role model for the youth.
Yeah.
You know how sad for me was to find out that some kids that were having sex, some other kids that were drinking. You know how sad that is? It really hurts my heart.
Yeah.
And for you guys to say, you know what? It's the parents' responsibility. Thank you very much because now I know.
Well, to be fair,
It is.
I agree.
It is the parents'
Not that I don't agree with that.
They're
I
not
agree.
my kids. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It's the truth.
No,
but here,
Nobody
hold on,
protect your
right.
kids.
Yes.
Stefan. That's
yes.
the problem.
But what,
no,
that's what you
the
guys
problem.
are saying.
What we're saying is
that's what you guys are saying.
No,
That's
I'm
what
not-
you guys are saying
No.
that we're saying.
No.
Hold on. Now let me say.
No.
You guys,
I said no.
we understand. First of all, that they're the future of this, and I think throughout all these podcasts we've talked about it, right?
Yes.
We do care.
No, I don't think so.
Whatever. Never mind.
No, do you understand? You understand if my dad would ever found, especially when in church, if somebody gave him a report that I was disrespectful, that I was misbehaving, that I was not doing what I was,
Guys.
that I was not doing what I was told. You understand how much fear I had in if my dad ever found that out.
Guys,
You would just get the look, and it was
Dude,
game over.
yes, and that didn't start in church,
The
Pastor.
stare of 1,000
That
looks.
didn't start in church.
Yeah,
It started at
or the
home.
little,
Do you do the look,
the
Fernando?
little pinch.
Do you do the look?
No, I do. I make promise. I promise my kids when they not behave. I promise that they're gonna get that.
I promise you when we get home.
Yes, and then
Yes.
I always.
Come through with my promise?
Yes.
But you have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't promise something, you don't deliver.
You have
no?
to. If you
If
don't,
you promise,
you're
you
a
do it.
clown.
Because and then your word is nothing, and that's all we got. Your word.
And that's the thing we were starting to say. Yes, we want to invest.
No, hold
in
on,
the
hold on.
spiritual life.
I think
Yes,
we
want to
I think
invest
we
in
need
the-
to
Clarify.
a few things. Number one,
No.
we do agree that it's the parents' responsibility.
All right, I rest my
Thank
case.
you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Wow.
No,
100%.
I never denied that. I'm a parent, and I agree with that.
Yes, me too.
We're not denying that.
I love it.
That is not in question. That is 100% true.
Yes. Yeah, that's
What
the
else?
parents.
But
Hey, you know what though?
Yeah,
Here,
I have some. I'll tell you what else.
boy.
But
I'll
you
tell
have
what
to
else.
ask yourself. That's the case. That's only half of it.
yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, we believe that.
Agreed.
So, what is the church's role? If it's just the parents,
Those
and
are the
it's,
church.
it's
To exhibit
it's on them.
the right.
When we have them here for the little that we have them,
For that Sunday or Wednesday.
for little hours that we have them,
Let's teach them how
that's
to
the
wash dishes.
second thing. That's the second
How
half
to
of that.
what?
Wash dishes.
Wow.
That's the second half of it. No, I'm seriously.
I
So
understand. Yeah.
if as a church we're like, well, it's a responsibility,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna engage or whatever, then I think we're missing the point, because I think, there's an old saying that says that it takes a village to raise
Yes.
a kid, and I think in the case of the church, because we are a community of faith,
Agreed.
we are a community of faith. I think everybody concerns us, at least in prayer, at least and I think that they are looking at us for, what they're looking for? For two things.
Truth.
They're looking for a good example to live by, and they're also looking for our mistakes
Yeah.
so that
Ooh.
they can get them and say, well, they did it, so I don't have to do it.
Wow.
Or I don't have to live like that.
No.
So I mean, in my opinion, because it's not just my kids. It's not just my kids. Her kid, I mean, his daughter,
In this society, it's
It's all right now.
his daughter,
You might want to change it back to
Oh.
your screen.
so his daughter,
yeah. I mean him.
his daughter is not my daughter,
Yes.
right? Like she's not. But nevertheless, I feel a sense of responsibility to be able to be a good example for her,
Yeah.
be part of her growth, spiritually speaking,
Yeah.
be there for her if she needs it, because she's part of who I am. She's part of my community, of this community. And I know that not having kids is a different dynamic. I understand that. Yet you have the opportunity to be mentors to those people, and to pray for them, and say, I am part of this kid and what they could potentially be.
Yeah.
That's my point. So there's two aspects to it.
No, and I agree with you on 100%.
I don't think you do.
I do.
I don't think.
But I think
I
what
don't think you understand.
no, I don't think. I don't think. I gotta be honest. I don't think you understand that
no,
point.
no, I do. But what I'm saying is our influence only goes so far. Like if we say something,
but that so far is really really important.
I understand that. But if we say something and do something right, we give our the much as we can, and if they go home and they see something else,
That's
then
the
how?
parents.
And that's what I'm saying. That our influence
And if they do
only
that-
goes so
Our
far.
influence is very limited.
Yeah, it's
And
very limited.
Well,
It's a
no, listen.
very
listen.
Now, I'm not.
No, I understand
And
what
I don't.
you're
I'm not
saying, but-
downplaying that
Exactly.
percentage of it. I totally agree with 100% what you said. But I'm just saying that our influence is
Can I just say
only a certain
something? Can I say something
Yes.
else?
Yes.
If you know that's the case, if you know that this is true, what you just said,
Yeah.
if you know that's true, then that's the battle that you have to fight.
I'm not, and I agree with you.
What battle?
That battle when you know that a
Yeah.
kid's gonna go home and potentially everything
Yeah.
that
Yes.
you've influenced
Yes, I understand.
is gonna be undone.
Overruled.
Yes.
basically.
And because I know that, then I have to be more intentionally
Yeah.
intentional at church and with my prayers, so that diminishes over time.
Yeah.
Hey,
and,
but-
and with my influence, the thing is that here's the thing. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me speak straight.
Please do.
That's what needs to be done.
Yes, I
What
agree
is
with you.
that? What is that?
What I just said, what I just said.
No se
To
peleen,
be
no se
more
peleen.
concerned.
Yeah,
about-
no, I wanted to clarify.
Okay, I think the answer for that, Stefan, is that what is that? That means that you actually care for the people at church, not only kids,
Yeah.
but
That's-
but for
that's a given.
other brothers and sisters.
That's a given.
Because if you said that, and then what's the point to pray for people?
But no one said that.
No, we said we.
That
But
wasn't
it's the
part
same-
of the
it's the-
conversation, though.
No, it's not. It's the same point because if you said, "Oh, that's the kid's parents,"
I see the reactions.
No, what we're saying is we agree with everything you're saying.
okay, you agree? Okay,
Yes, we
You prove my
agree.
point.
But also we're telling the truth. We're telling the facts of the matter. Is that yes, we agree with doing all that, and we will do it gladly and with joy and with love.
You know what
But-
I
I don't
think?
think so.
Hey, you know what
You know
though?
what I
Hold
think?
on. I think we need to finish, let someone finish their train of thought instead of
All right.
I
interjecting.
want to keep
Alright.
talking. I want to talk.
All right,
Okay,
I'm gonna-
no
Okay,
matter-
go, Isaac.
Isaac,
You had the
Isaac, you
floor
need to
first.
finish your thoughts.
Come on, Isaac. We're leaving.
So
half
what I'm
thoughts
saying
out
is
there.
I agree with 100% what you said, Pastor. But I'm just saying on my side that I'm gonna do all that as much as I can
Pastor's gonna
to
go
what I'm
with
called
the
to
boys.
do. But I he's walking out.
Are you gonna finish or you want to talk?
Go for it. I lost my
Okay.
train of
I
thought.
interrupted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't like thinking about that now. Like right now, like what I was saying, like you just proved my point. What you just said after that,
Uh-huh.
and then I was like, hey, realistically, like I have to talk to youth, and even ones that don't, like I like ask, like, hey, you play music, well, and I don't. It's been a really long time since I've spoken to a youth that's like disrespectful. You know what I mean? Or they all have their personalities, and if anything, that's exciting because, I mean, as a worshiper, you could just tell like they have different things to bring to the table, But the ones we do get to deal with, like we're kind of blessed, especially as a church, that I love the fact that the parents are doing a good job because, like I said, it's been a really long time since I've been disrespected by someone who's young, who realistically shouldn't. When I actually care, like, hey, man, I'm not your teacher, and I'm sure not your parent. Like, don't say that to me, please. Like, I'm actually trying to help you. You know what I mean? It's been a really long time since we had anything like that, and that just tells me, like, hey, I think we're doing a good job as a church, and I think the parents are doing their best at home because they're not raising monsters. Is it?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like, hey, even they're gonna make their decisions, and they're gonna perhaps choose this over that and that, but nonetheless, like, hey, they know how to like go about. They know how to be respectful. They know how to walk and be considerate. You know what I mean? And that makes me happy because then I go to work and I drive places and I go to the park by my house and I'm just like, what is happening to the world? You know?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and that's really important, guys.
You said it
because-
all.
Especially because you guys are in a place that just think about a kid that had a really rough time in his house,
Yeah.
and it comes to church where nobody cares because it's the parents' responsibility.
Mm.
But you go and talk to them. You know how much you're gonna change the day, maybe the week, maybe the month, maybe the life.
Yeah.
So we really, 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 really need to like care about it. I know it's not, it's the parents' responsibility, but we as a church, we're supposed to help
when we
We're
can, how we can.
We're
Yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to love and teach, or it's just not kids included, only adults. Or I'm only gonna worry about the hermanito, and not for the kids.
No,
That
no.
you know, I'm telling you guys, because you guys like, you know how cool that is when the guy who plays the guitar and sings at church talks to you when you're a kid. You know how cool that is.
I almost fainted.
Not only that, but like Stephanie, I'm sure Kaylin has told you, you know what, Stephanie, thank you for like give me a chance or influence me to do this and that. Or no, you know how cool that is. Honestly, you guys need to like really help a little bit. It's the parents' responsibility,
Yeah.
but we as a church is everybody's responsibility.
Yeah.
Because if I see a kid that is not my kid, and and I know that I can't talk to a kid because I know how parents get, but if I see him in trouble and I can help him,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
help him because that's our job.
No, and I do see it as a job, Fernando. Like, say even a practice or something to do with, we are like, there's no pastors in the church, or there's no one else, and we are like the leaders. Like, hey,
You're the pastor.
hey, like none of that. Like, you know what I mean? And you do,
But you
yeah.
the
And
pastor at
but
that
that
point.
I see that more as that, like, that's just a responsibility that comes with, like, you wouldn't, like, even, you know what I mean, whether you feel what the right thing to do and the right thing to say is, you know what I mean? And you will go about it that way. Like, and then there's times where it's like, hey, I don't think that's right, like, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't say that, or don't say that to that person, or you know what I mean, or don't do that, don't sing that here, don't talk about that. Why are you watching that? Like, you get to partake in that, but you kind of check yourself and you're just like, man, like, that's interesting. That
It's interesting because kids they're like a sponge. If you guys don't care,
yeah,
they're gonna grow up thinking like that. Even you're the coolest guy ever, but if you're like that, that's how they're gonna picture for the rest of their lives.
yeah,
I think you do make a difference.
course.
Like if I go to the kids, and hey, they're not preachers, they're not leaders, they're not in my worship team, they're not anything. They're kids, and you go up to them, and all you do is say, "Hey, what's up? Give me 5. How's your day? How's your week?" I mean, their eyes light up and like, "Oh, okay, like this guy can
I'm
talk
somebody,
to me."
it's-
I think, guys, there's been, a very good discussion, but I think that the end of it, away from, our exaggerations and everything, is that they're not mutually exclusive. I think the parents' responsibility and the churches, I think if we work together, then that's when the difference it's being made. And that everybody you got to have compassion for these kids. You got to have love for these kids. And you got to, I think you got to fall in love with them and say, hey, I see the potential that God wants to do in their lives. And I want to be, even if just a little part of that, like that's what I want to be. I think both points are very, very valid.
but mine was better.
I think based on that right there, I
think they're valid.
It's kind of comforting that to hear Pastor say that, because you can literally ask any youth in our worship team, what have we said over and over again, and it's exactly what he just talked about. How, like, hey, like, we know that you're special, and we want to see what God will do. You know what I mean? Like, we do that over and over.
I think
and
the
over.
difficult
Yeah.
part for everybody, not just youth leaders,
Everybody.
the difficult part is this. That Jesus said, he said, go and make disciples, right?
Yeah.
Teach them what I've taught you and to obey those things and make disciples. That, you know what that means, right? In essence, the way I see that is you're going to carry that person on your shoulders, and you're going to walk with them until they learn how to do it themselves, and they learn how to do this to other people. Mm-hmm. And I think that requires time, energy, selflessness, and
love.
dying to yourself and putting yourself aside. That's the hardest thing that you need to do. That's why dealing with people is not an easy thing. Making disciples is not an easy thing. And it's, if you look at the work that way, and if you look how much it is, you're going to go like, oh, yeah, I don't want to bother with this. This is, I'd rather just come and do my thing, and then that's it. But
That's boring.
but definitely when you take upon a life and you make a difference in their own lives, I mean, up to this point, I still know people that I used to teach in the Sunday school, and they were little. They were like these little kids, and I still know who they are. I still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I used to teach them, but I think that the making discipleship is carrying someone. It's taking them all the way until they know who Christ is, and you know, they learn, and they're gonna fall, and they're gonna get up again, and you're gonna be there for them. That takes time and effort. That's not just a leadership thing. That's everybody's.
That's everybody. That's the whole
and
church.
and that's, I think that's important.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm out of here. Asbury.
So
We want revival. Let's start there with the kids.
Nice segue, huh?
Yeah.
con los niños.
So Asbury, did you guys know anything about it? I didn't know anything about it until
they
they sent
stopped
an
it.
email.
We got some cool youth.
What happened?
We got some
What
cool
happened in
youth.
Osbury?
Huh?
We got some cool youth at our church.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cool. But don't say it's loud, because then they listen to you and they're like, oh, we're so cool.
Well, they're the most special
We're
ones.
so
Let's face
cool.
it. I told them before.
We're
I know you don't like
so
it,
cool.
Pastor, but I let them know how special they are
Everybody's special.
because they're pastors' kids.
Remember what Barney says. Everybody's special.
Wow. Barney.
You love me. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
A veces.
Isn't like,
All right. So what do you guys know about the am I saying it right?
I don't
Asbury?
know.
Asbury.
they're stopped already?
In Kentucky.
They're stopped.
Kentucky. Yeah.
They're
That was interesting.
It was a revival going on in
All
Kentucky.
right.
What, 20
let's,
days?
let's talk about it then, real quick.
Revival.
I think all start because everybody cares about everybody. That's how everything started.
I
No?
don't think Fernando cares about me.
Yeah.
Dude, bro,
I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm
Ese
playing.
Ese burling.
I don't think anybody cares about me. I need a crying room, please.
Pastor, I'm sorry that I expressed myself about Ant-Man that way.
You guys can express yourselves as however you want.
Okay.
So no more Ant-Man.
That's why we're here. What good is it to talk about the same thing that we all agree on?
Everybody-
Yes,
Come on.
Pastor, yes.
Come on,
that's
guys.
so boring.
We're yes men.
Come on, guys.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
I enjoy the interaction.
Me too.
100%.
I think Steph's falling asleep.
Oh, Steph.
She wants to talk about Osbury. Osbury, what's going on, Osbury, Steph?
I don't have no idea.
Oh wow.
Are you
What?
serious?
Yeah.
They're stopped
Really?
already. No, the 20 days.
It was 20 days. Oh.
How many days?
It went quite some
It
days.
went viral, what they call it.
Yeah, we had a discussion regarding it because
Who's we?
me and you.
Did we?
Me and you. I talked with Steph about it.
Yeah.
I think Pastor briefly.
Yeah.
So there was a prayer that went up.
So
and
explain what's going on in Osbury
Yeah, explain.
for the people that don't know.
so it's a campus. It's a Christian school,
Mm-hmm.
and during one of their chapels,
Mhm.
there was a prayer, and they just wanted to experience His love. We want to be in His love. I think it was something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they started worshiping, and apparently it had never stopped for days and days.
Mm-hmm.
It continued, and people kept hearing about it, that it wouldn't stop, and people were singing out and singing out.
So-called revival, what they call it.
Yeah. What?
They call it a revival.
Yeah, that there was a revival that broke out,
Yeah.
and people were getting healed, they said, and liberated, and this, and like, and then people heard, and started flooding the campus. There was lines. I saw a couple of videos of huge lines down block
Yeah.
to try to get in, and it's an older looking, like, big old church. It looks pretty cool. But yeah, that's what it was going on, and there were some people trying to I guess shut it down, saying that it was causing too much, like, disturbance, and because I know they canceled
Little
classes.
Little city. Yeah, a little town.
The little town too, and I know they had opened like 2 more chapels for overflows, and they were just continuing to worship. That's what, when I saw videos, they would either pray and they'd like prophesy, and they would.
They didn't have
worship and
preaching
worship.
too, or no?
I didn't see any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was just worship, and yeah, it's just interesting to see and say, like, hey, what do you think about it?
What do you think about it?
I think it was beautiful. Like, the first couple of days I heard about it, I was like, hey, that's cool. Like, there's no like mainstream headliners, and it was just their chapel teams and people that went to that school and probably in worship, not just music. And it was cool to see that was what was going on, and but I don't know from there. Like I just, I know it became really popular and people would fly there. I don't know if they had any famous people end up singing or.
They asked all the media and the news that not to go and interrupt it because it was nothing about politics or anything.
Wow.
That's cool.
So that I think that was cool.
That's
because
cool.
Tucker he wanted to go and do like a show there, and they
Who?
Chris Tucker?
yeah,
No,
and they
Chris
told
Tucker.
and they
The
told
comedian?
No, Tucker Carlson
Tucker Carlson there.
from
You
Fox
said
News.
Chris Tucker.
These guys had Chris Tucker.
you said that.
I honestly thought it was that guy, but
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
Tucker Carlson.
and he asked to be there with the cameras, and they said no, please do not come
Yeah.
because this has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with anything else. We're just
Amen.
worshiping God, and
Okay.
that's all. That's all we're doing.
Beautiful.
That's fantastic.
When are we going to have that in CCFC?
Every Sunday.
We've been having that for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the media.
No, we don't need them.
We don't need
What do you mean? We're right here. This is the media.
Hey, no, but that does make me like think of over and over. We talk like, hey, we want to see these things going on.
Yeah.
We want to see this happen, and then once again, I talked to someone after today's service, and I was saying like, hey, God has been moving, and He has been liberating, and He has been healing. Like I see it in my home, and if there's no one to give thanks other than Him, He gets the glory because I see that He's doing it. Yes, like it didn't happen instantly there on a Sunday morning after a prayer, but nonetheless, like He is the one that's doing it, and I can testify to that, and it's become personal. So my thing when I hear, well, that's why God doesn't move here, and I'm just like, you have no idea what you're talking about. He's been moving
Beautiful.
like drastic, moving mountains, and that's my that's my pitch on that. The whole, whether this way or that way, I'm just like, I don't know. I can't give too big an opinion. I wish that would be beautiful. I would like to see firsthand, like someone stand up, like from like wheelchairs or whatever it may be. But I know He's moving in my house and in my heart and in my family. So
It's everywhere.
yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think there's there's two aspects to it, and I think there's people who are questioning and sarcastic or maybe even suspicious about it, and then there's people who actually took the time to travel all the way over there to see what was happening. So there's like those two campuses.
What side do you fall on, Pastor?
The
if I may
flights
ask?
were really expensive.
Were they?
Yeah.
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 Pastor, where do you fall at on
Yeah.
that? If I may ask?
I checked and they were really expensive. They had no hotels.
I don't know where I fall in.
I think I'm on the same boat as
I
you,
think
Pastor.
I'll start by saying that it's not my place to
yes.
to say
Nice.
Yeah.
it is or it isn't.
Yeah.
That's not my place to say that. Because I'm not there,
Yeah.
and I don't know, so
Yeah.
I have no idea. I think I would pay attention to who is the one that started saying that it was a revival. That's what I would want to know, which I don't at this moment. Like, who said, "Hey, there's a revival happening"?
Yeah.
I like to know where that came from, because the word revival is so heavy and so loaded
Right.
for Pentecostals that it even ends up meaning something that it's a definition that I think that people already have a definition of it, and it has to do with
Yeah.
a long, good service where people sing and fall and speak in tongues and miracles happen, and that's revival.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's been defined, Pentecostally speaking, for a long, long time. So I would like to find out, like, who came up in the news and said, "Hey, there's a revival happening here," because of how interesting the word is
Yeah.
in itself. And then after that, I think that define revival in Scripture, and yeah, what does that mean? What's the biblical definition of that?
Is it repentance, isn't it?
What is yeah?
Like a huge repentance.
Well,
come
what
to?
does a word mean in itself?
Revival.
Let's see. To revive something?
Right, to revive, right? Like something that was dead, and it becomes alive again, and you know. So by implication, if the Holy Spirit and there's miracles and speaking in tongues, what the implication is that before that, then the church was dead, or that particular congregation was dead.
I think they call it revival because it lasts long and a bunch of people from everywhere.
But that's what I'm saying. But is that a good definition of
No,
revival? Is that what revival means?
I think like Gilbert said, that like God is in a revival every day in our lives. We just don't
You just don't see it.
see it.
Or don't want to.
Or just you think you have this image of a revival, or have to fly or have to do something different.
Yeah, I suppose that revival then, but the way people define it is a movement of the Spirit accompanied by gifts and supernatural manifestations and stuff. So,
But those things are supernatural that are happening, that he's doing in our lives, and
no, they are by nature. Yeah,
they're absolutely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think I do have my reservations about what it means in the Pentecostal, what the real definition of it is, and I want to say that historically speaking, it ties to Pentecost. But then Pentecost would not be a good example because the believers before Pentecost, they were not dead. They were not baptized, that's true, but they were not like dead. And today we talked about Ezekiel 37, the vision of the dry bones. And revival sounds more like in that line, that line of dry bones, flesh coming to them, spirit, coming to them, making them alive. That's the one thing that I can think of right now. And that vision specifically is very directed to the people of Israel, as God would bring them back into the land and fulfill His promises. So I don't have a problem. I mean, whatever happens, and the more the merrier. And as long as it's a legitimate movement, that's fine. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
It needs to propagate. But
Amen.
yeah, but like Gil says, revival itself has to do with repentance, with turning back to God, seeking God. And it's not like a 20-day thing. It's like a prolonged experience where people come to the Lord in repentance, basically.
It's a lifetime.
Yeah.
That transformation. So I can't say, oh, it isn't, or yes, it is, because I've heard both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could it be, Pastor, that I guess we get people are not, or I can say we as just people get attracted to the miracles, to the healings, to the manifestations.
But yeah,
And we tend to sensationalize it and try to look for that.
that could happen too. I mean, who's not attracted to that?
Well, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying we tend to want to see that more.
Well, the thing
All
is
means
that-
necessary?
The thing is,
Yeah.
as a Christian, that vindicates your belief,
Right.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
It vindicates your
Yeah.
faith because you're actually seeing something happen of what you believe. So it's vindicating you at the end. Like, oh, my faith is real, so this is happening. So, yeah, who doesn't want that? I mean, we want it.
Which is beautiful. Yeah, I
which
would
is
say
good.
agree.
Yeah.
But I would say sometimes we look for that more than to what he's doing in our
To say that revival is a service only where people are loud and singing, and I mean, I would really be careful with the way that I use the word,
right.
and look for all the signs, the correct characteristics, and define revival not by one denomination or the other, but biblically speaking, if that exists.
Yeah.
define it in that way, and I'm
Yeah.
sure someone has done that.
And I'm just gonna make it clear. By no way am I downplaying this.
No, me neither.
I just find it beautiful.
I hope it is true.
Anytime somebody gathers and worships God and God moves, that's beautiful to me. So I'm not saying that it happened or not happened. I'm just saying it's
To
beautiful.
me the confusion, I think confusing an expression of a service for the move of the Spirit. I think that's where it's the problem.
Right.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably question that.
Yeah.
You know, oh well, this revival because we're being louder because we're singing,
Yeah.
or this revival because really we didn't want anything with God and now we do, and then we're turning our hearts to Him and in repentance and crying and yeah. So I would think that. So if it happens, like if you're in your church and that's great, fantastic, do it. You know.
Agreed. What do you think, Fernando?
I agree. I concur.
I agree.
So the other thing is that you can, oh well, this is happening here, so let's do it here in our church and see what happens.
Yeah. Try to recreate it.
And then try to recreate it. I think you should always look for the movement of the Spirit within your context, within your need, within
Your community.
your community.
No, and then you have
with
the
people.
And then we have the, oh, that's why this isn't happening. It's like, man, like God is beyond, like He doesn't need me or need these people. First of all, like we get to partake. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's because I do believe that we can be consecrated to Him and that we can be used by God and that He will move. But I won't make it a formula, is what I'm saying. You know, we won't say if you do this, 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 and this will happen. Like that becomes like, well, what if it doesn't? You know. I don't know. What do you guys chime in on that?
You're absolutely right. Like it's formulaic, and we're looking for that formula as opposed to like waiting and seeking for our context and our need within the congregation.
And not as an excuse to be lazy and not seek Him and not be set apart and not be pure. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying.
Not at all.
Yeah. Meant to be clear.
I got it.
Before Fernando gets me, you know.
Well, no, I think it's very important what you said. You know, let's not look for a formula because this is what happened, and we were in Parral when I keep saying it, we went to
Chihuahua.
and Chihuahua.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I heard this pastor saying, just do whatever the gabachos are doing, and it's gonna be
The American church.
the American church.
Yeah.
Really?
For those of you who don't know what gabacho is
Gabacho.
That's not probably the right word. But like,
It's the American church.
yeah, he's like, do what the white people
Yeah,
are doing.
when I heard that, I was like, really? Like,
yes.
I just waste my money to come over here to hear that, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, it's very important because nowadays everybody wants to do what Upper Room is doing. Everybody wants to do whatever movement.
I want to do that.
Exactly.
Eating barbecue, really good barbecue in Dallas after church.
I don't know what.
Oh, that's not what you meant, though, huh? You meant the movements.
Yeah, what movements? You know,
Yeah.
that's just locally. I mean, our church is way different than everybody's church.
Yeah.
You know?
Amen.
We cannot just because that's working over there. We should do it, and it's gonna work here.
We have different
it
needs.
Does not.
Different needs.
Everybody, you know, we Hispanics,
Agreed.
with different needs.
Yeah.
You know, like the music, everything, the way, you know, the pastor preach, everything is different.
Yeah.
If we start copying, because works, they do it this way, so let's do it that way. You know what? I heard one time, like, you know what? At the time of worship, we should have somebody painting. Really? That's because that works and
Bethel.
That doesn't mean it's gonna work over here. You know, like, and by the way, that painting when somebody's worship, that's old because I saw that in the church like 20 years ago, and in Azusa, and then I heard that I was like, really? Why we have to copy everybody? Oh, you know what? Let's do this. No, let's just seek the Lord, and then He's gonna talk to us. And He's gonna move the way we need to be moved.
But they did
The
it.
way we need.
They did it here at a youth service.
What?
That painting thing.
Really? Oh, it's a great idea.
Like
I think
a long time ago.
it's a
No,
great
I mean
idea.
a long time ago. I mean a long time ago.
Yeah, I
Did
mean,
they
really?
do stick figures or does someone know how to
Yeah,
paint?
so, no,
Someone, they knew how to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look, if you put me there, I'm playing tic-tac-toe.
yeah, you know, and I saw that like way before I came to CCFC.
Everybody worshiping and you're tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
You know, and that doesn't. I don't think it works that way. You know, like we are different. You know, we need a different preaching. We need a different music. Everything is different.
I'll tell you firsthand. Like I went to Upper Room once. I went to one of their services.
Oh my God! No, that's why you're really good at it.
Yeah, right.
That's why you're really good.
I'm good at eating barbecue.
I like barbecue.
Yeah.
Me too.
I
I thought we were gonna have.
Here's what I found interesting.
Huh?
I found it interesting that there was people lined up
Was it last-
hours before service started, so to go inside, and they were from pretty far drives.
What?
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wow.
I found it interesting that there was people from pretty far away lining up
For
hours before service started
where?
at Upper Room, and that was
Oh,
like
wow. Let's do
that bugged me that I had to be there early, you know, and I was like, well, what is this, you know? Okay.
That's what.
And then here's another interesting thing. Like someone was like, "Oh, just wait, like it's gonna be like something like never before." And all I can tell you is that it was cool. It was a congregation worshiping Jesus. But all it made me do was miss my church because it's like this is what we do at church. CCFC.
Maybe it was good because everybody was with the same spirit seeking God.
That's what I said. Yeah, like I said, like,
You know,
and that's yeah. That's what I remembered.
That's the norm.
You know, that's what we do at my church.
Yeah, you know, if you go to a place where everybody is truly seeking God and worship
Yeah.
God, de veras, I mean, truly, it's gonna happen. But you get people like,
We do that, yeah.
I don't like that song. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like that way they play. I don't like this. I don't like that. And then it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, and also
No,
now,
let's not do that because that doesn't work here.
yeah,
Really?
what is cool is like, hey, they do have like the people and what they
Painting.
yeah, they're young, and a lot of them like
Painting.
they have full on like worship sets during the week, and that's like pretty cool.
Yeah, but you know how many people
Yeah.
congregate there?
Thousands and thousands and thousands.
I mean, you gotta be like, you gotta really see the numbers and everything, and not just upper room. Let's go over there because God is there.
yeah,
Right here in Downey, God is not moving.
Yeah.
Everything is in upper room. Really?
You're
Everybody got
saying
quiet?
that, or someone told you that?
who said that? Yeah,
You know what?
I heard.
I want names, Fernando.
You want names?
I want name.
Yeah.
No, I don't actually. I don't need that. I don't need
Fernando.
that.
Care for names.
I don't need names.
But I'm not gonna say names. But I heard.
No, Fernando, don't. Okay, don't.
I heard that
I'm
a
not
lot.
gonna name names.
Don't do it, bro.
That was at
Fernando,
the
please don't do it.
Not here. That was somewhere else.
Oh, some other church?
Yeah, some other.
I know, hey, he's like, I'll say it.
Don't make me. Don't make me.
He's like, because I'll do it
Fernando, I want names, Fernando.
Yeah, you want
after the podcast.
I
After
give.
the podcast, text him right now.
Yeah.
Text Isaac.
Yeah, but I heard that a lot, and it's really sad because it's like, okay, God it doesn't like us because we have to be somewhere else,
That's funny.
Yeah.
right?
I don't like you guys.
Yeah,
He
I don't like
blesses
Downey.
these guys, but
I'm
not
gonna
those
be-
guys.
I'm
I don't
so
like.
sorry.
I don't like Downey because
We're Mexican.
everything is bigger in Texas, so I'm gonna go there.
We're Mexican.
Who said that?
You guys are Mexican.
Pastor?
Barbecue is really good.
I'll tell you that. They're,
Say, man.
Yeah.
Hands down to barbecue.
Barbecue's
yeah.
Go to Austin.
Totally.
That's
Hey,
better.
for God's glory and honor, that barbecue is phenomenal.
Okay.
glory
Austin
and honor.
I don't know where they're feeding
Texas,
cows in
they-
Texas, but
they have a better barbecue. I tried both. In
Austin, we're in
Dallas-
Austin.
Huh?
What's it
Wait,
called?
Don't do that to me,
We're
man.
in Dallas. What did you?
I don't want to
Yeah,
go
what-
back
what
to Texas
restaurant?
ever.
What
We're in
restaurant?
Dallas. Because
What-
if you come with like I had Cooper's, then I'll tell you that. You
What is
didn't
that?
Exactly.
It's some place
That's
that's
good.
supposedly good in Dallas.
You know, I
I was
spent.
fine.
I
but
spent,
it made me sick.
Yeah, because you ate it the next day.
I spent
Big too,
3
dude.
years. I'm gonna talk to you because 3 years working.
Wait, you're talking to me?
Never mind.
But we were just asking the name of where you
Yeah,
ate.
where?
Not like 3 years.
He doesn't know.
Because I tried different
but he
places.
just said 3 years. He
What's
said
the name of the
he said
place?
3
It
years.
wasn't Terry Black's because I wasn't there yet 3 years ago.
Hold on. I spent 3 years working in Texas, like months and months. I tried different places.
Which was the best one?
I don't know. The one that I liked the most it was one place in Austin, downtown Austin.
Okay.
What's it called?
I'm sure all Texas has good barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
can't go
remember
bad
the
with
name
it.
of
Well,
it,
if
but
it
it's
was
really
in downtown,
I
it's
heard-
probably
Okay.
good.
All I know
really
is that
really expensive.
gas stations
Yeah, it
in
is.
Texas have better barbecue than California
Yes, I
does.
did. Yeah.
That sounds funny.
They're
but
better
it's
than what?
true.
Dickies or whatever?
That sounds funny, but it's Hey, I like Dickies.
Even
Nah.
Dickies here is
Once-
horrible.
That's
Dickies
like
here-
eating a Slim Jim after going to
They
Texas.
gotta have
Yeah.
good tacos.
They
though.
closed it here in Downey.
Oh, I wonder why.
Close now?
Yeah.
It's like eating a Slim Jim.
I wonder why. I wonder why they closed it.
That was bound to happen.
Yeah. There's
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm the only one who didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right,
But
so-
anyways, yeah, we should as a church.
Here's a few things I think
Never
that we
mind.
have to consider. I'll just say
Never
this on
mind. I
top of
can
my
keep
head.
my mouth.
Ya lo admiten a este podcast.
No, finish. Go ahead.
Well, I lost it. That just
No, just
no,
do
no,
it. Just do it.
What was I saying?
You're responsible. Go.
You know what I'm gonna do this week?
wow. Wow.
I
Go
just
say
want
it.
to say.
Eat some barbecue.
I'm gonna watch this podcast again. I'm gonna write everybody's name down. I'm gonna write the minutes of how much each person talked and see who talked the most.
It's
Gil.
not me.
Because everybody's
It's
like,
Gil.
you guys interrupt
It's
me.
Gil, probably.
Like I don't know how many.
Probably it's gonna be Gil, but because Gil talks like this, it doesn't.
I have a
It
feeling it's
doesn't
gonna be
feel
this
like-
side of town.
It doesn't.
Wow.
Feel, it doesn't
Oh
feel
wow,
much.
probably.
Pastor and
Probably.
Fernando.
Hey, Fernando.
Me?
I've tried to come up with a reason
No.
why I do that, and I can't figure it out yet, bro.
That's just because that's you, bro. They had nothing to.
I don't like
you
it
can't do
though.
nothing.
I don't like it
It's
though
okay. It's okay.
you
That's
talking
just
about?
no, because
because I talk like this.
every time Gil,
Every time
If I'm not singing, I'm
every
talking
time,
like this.
every time he's on the mic.
it's
Yeah.
like man.
Wow.
That is better than
All right, so let me finish. With,
yeah,
let me finish with this.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
I hope.
Who's screaming?
I think that there's a few things that you have to consider, right? So the first one, and I'm intentionally talking and not putting my camera on
Oh.
and leaving
I love it.
Steph.
Wow. A ver si están poniendo atención. They see they're paying attention.
It was him.
Wow.
Están haciendo bully.
I know they're doing bullying, Pastor.
He's the one that
Burling.
was like, "Who's screaming?"
Wow.
It sounded like ice cream.
That sounds good right now.
Gee,
Pastor,
come on.
Pastor, carry on. Let him
yes.
drop some knowledge on us, Pastor.
No, it's okay. Look,
Slay me.
Yeah, Pastor.
check it out. First of all, don't spend time being envious
Amen.
Oh, man.
of what happens
Yes.
someplace. It's the energy and time
Except everywhere else, be envious of CCFC. All right.
that no, seriously, because it does take time, and I'm telling you as a pastor, because you look around, you look at such and such church and what they do and such ministry and what's happening, and then you could end up feeling pretty miserable and miss really what God wants to do. Second, pay attention to Pentecost and Acts chapter 2 and what are some of the characteristics that happened there. They were obedient. Notice this. Check it out. This is amazing. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15, Jesus appeared to 500 people at once. Yet in the upper room, there were 120 people. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Now, you might say, yeah, maybe someone would travel or whatever, but it stands. It still stands. 500 to 120.
The majority didn't.
120. I don't know what percentage that is. So, what are
What,
some of the
20, 25?
characteristics? You're talking about undivided unity. Undivided. Period. They were there to do one thing and one thing only. Nothing else mattered. Nothing else mattered. Not themselves, not their petitions, nothing. Just that one promise. That's what mattered, and that's what everybody was seeking at the same time.
Wow.
After that, you have a love for being with the people of God. Like you enjoy being there. You enjoy serving. You enjoy being with the community of faith. You enjoy it. Brings joy to you. You love it. And then the other characteristic is that you look at people that are not part of the community of faith and you want to bring them in. You want to share that thing that God's doing in your own life. So if you look at if Acts 2 is the model for revival, then there's those things that you have to consider that go beyond the service or beyond that. And I'm not diminishing or belittling Asbury by any stretch of the word, because again, we celebrate when God does something anywhere else. But you should not be measuring your own experience of God with somebody else's as opposed to what God wants to do here. And if you don't have it clear, then if you don't have a vision, then you're not going to get there. Simple as that.
Amen.
Wow.
Fernando, what happened?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. You know why we should worry about what's happening somewhere else when we should worry about us here.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, every Sunday, every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every time we see a kid that is in need, we should worry about it.
The thing is that there's always a price to pay, and be it that in time, effort, talents, whatever the case may be, just being together, it's an effort. And in the services, you think everybody's in the same place? You think everybody's thinking the same thing? You think everybody's like, we might be singing the same thing.
How do we get there, though?
That's a good question.
So I love what you were saying. Like nothing else mattered except
That's a good
that
question.
one thing. Like, what do you guys
Like
think?
Metallica.
Nothing else.
That's a good question.
I don't know about that stuff, brother.
I think you change.
I do.
You change. I'm gonna be very ambiguous, but I think you change culture, mentality, purpose. Why are you here? And you understand that here's the thing. Can I say something?
Say it.
On air or off air?
I'll say it.
Preach it.
Here's the thing. The 120 people in the upper room, right? They were not people who... They were people who converted, people who understood who Christ was.
Whoa.
And sometimes in church, you don't get everybody with that sense. You get different peoples from different places with different opinions and ideas and intentions. And some of them, they may not be as well-versed or dedicated to the lordship of Christ as this 120 people were. How do you deal with that? How do you do that? How do you solve that? That's the question. That's the big question. So you start with the people who are. And it's pressed to everybody else. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. You have 120 people who had no doubt of who Christ was, who had no problem with obeying what he said. But when you have in a church, in a place, people who some of them understand, some of them don't, some of them are,
Some of them disagree even.
Yeah, some of them disagree, some of them are dedicated to the Lord, some of them are not, they're struggling. Then that becomes a disparity, a disunity for one purpose, I think. I might, someone might criticize me. And we go back to the purpose of the church. And what's the purpose then? Why are people there? I think that it's good that people are there. That's fantastic. But then that leaves those who are committed to Christ and who understand, that leaves us to do that for everybody else, in the sense that it spreads like a fire. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think too, like we as our culture is really hard to work with because we're very toxic. We like very dramatic. Like we care about so much about what people have to say. And then people's always like, I don't like that. They shouldn't do it this way. They do it that way. Now, this, I was there. Every time, there's always somebody criticizing what you're doing, and therefore, you can't unite. It's no way. Like you're doing something, and somebody else is not happy because that's the way they don't like the way you're doing it.
And if you can't find one, you're probably the criticizer.
What's that?
There's always a criticizer, and if you can't find them, you're probably it.
Yeah, you put the mirror and then you can find it.
Yeah.
You look at the mirror,
I
you
agree.
find it. You know, it's just that's how we are. How can we change that? Like, be honest with ourselves. And when people tell you something honestly, you take it. You don't get offended. And that's the problem, because we know we as Hispanics, somebody tells us the truth and we get offended.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody say, you know what, like me, like, you know what, Fernando, you should do this, and that. Really? Like, I have to change just to please you?
Yes.
To please pastor.
Amen.
You see? And then we're in the grand church.
Yeah.
Because, you know, our changing, our evolving, and crisis every day.
Yeah.
You know, you can't expect people to change like one day. I mean, there's cases, but like for me, like I used to be a heavy smoker, and then I stopped like one day to the next day. But you know, like personal stuff, there's people that like people change like radical like the next day. Then people takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it doesn't change, so there's some people like then now you know he's not gonna change. He's always gonna be the same. And how can you be united when people is like that? You're always saying something bad about everybody. And then we have reuniones, or you know we have our reunions. Instead of like studying the Bible, we start talking about people. Like, do you see what this hermana said this? What is it? Instead of lifting the people, we just trashing people.
Mm.
That's why we're never going to change. If we don't change ourselves, it will never change. You know what I mean? Because how can you say, you know, I want to be this change, and you can't love your brother? It will never change. If you can't love your brother or your sister in Christ, we will never change. It will never happen. Ever. Because, and I'm telling you, like personally, because it happens to me a lot. Like when people said, "Hi, hermano, I don't want you to pray for me because I don't think you have a relationship with God." Really? Who are you? I mean, like you're the Cuarta Trinidad or something? You know? Or yeah, I don't like this brother, how he prays. I don't like how he is. I don't like how he preach. We're never going to see the change. Ever. Because we want people to please us instead of like, we see people that like very like, God showed them something and then we don't believe it because to our standard, that brother or that sister is not holy enough to God show them something. And we don't believe it. That's because, you know, our culture, we come from like, for me, like I come from a place where, you know, we were taught differently in Mexico, you know, it's all different. So we come here and try to change everything, but we wouldn't change ourselves. How can you change? How can they be different if we don't change ourselves? You know what I mean? Like, I don't like this guy's kid, this too loud. Oh, I don't like that guy because he's too quiet. We're never happy with anything.
Yeah. Do you think that's just
Culture.
a deeper rooted issue in the sense of when there's discontent?
Of course.
It's because of lack of relationship and intimacy with Jesus Christ.
Yes, of course.
And because I believe that he does, when we lack joy, we look to other things to fulfill, whether it be, like we're saying, what do you call that? Gossip, not gossip, but what do you call it? Is that slander? What is that even?
Chisme.
Yeah, gossip, you know. And,
Gossip.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that usually, like, sin that we practice, that we engage in is, like we've said before, I think it's a symptom of a deeper rooted issue. Unfulfillment in Christ usually leads to something else. You're seeking something else to fulfill yourself and find that.
I think Isaac is too quiet.
Yeah, I'll
That's
give you a
what I
little
think.
sample.
He doesn't like to tell when it gets
Isaac.
biblical.
Yeah, I'll give you
What
a
in the
little.
world?
I'll give you a little sample. Like, you know,
Sorry.
when the sounds, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Everybody's like, turn around and look at Isaac.
Me.
Instead of saying, you know what, something's going on, it's not working properly.
Turn it around and see Isaac.
Yeah.
Fix it.
That's daily, by the way, or weekly.
Do they do it?
oh.
Do they look at you?
I don't know.
No, but what I'm saying is, instead of turn around and judge and say, you know what, he doesn't know what he's doing.
I probably
Instead-
don't.
Yeah, we know that, but it's just a sample. Instead of saying that, or say, do
Holy
that,
Lord.
let's pray about it and say, you know what, let's change the sounds.
The sound engineer, yeah.
No, the way it works, because it's always the same. It's always like the sound system's always something happens, and it's not even you guys. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But people don't get that. Instead of like give the benefit of the doubt. No, es que no saben lo que está haciendo. They should put somebody else.
But that's a conclusion too, because I've never heard somebody say that.
Oh, I heard it a lot.
Yeah. Like,
They don't. You
And then-
heard it because you're a musician. Nobody's gonna tell you.
no, and then we hear like we know how much time he puts in, how much
I know.
he spends, and like all of it.
Yeah,
You know.
not everybody knows.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because they don't know how much time and how much work it requires.
Yeah.
They just see the problem right there and then.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna be more patient and I'm here to seek God, so this is not gonna distract me.
Yeah.
That will be different, and that will change things. But no, we do the opposite.
Yeah, I think it's the inability in it has to do with Christ and everything, but also the inability to. I don't know how to say this. Maybe
The lack of a
I
relationship.
shouldn't say
I
it.
think you need to move the camera.
You see, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what he's
That's
talking about.
exactly what I'm talking about.
You know what? No one tells me what to do.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I was helping you in your example.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. There you go. What was I
Then
saying?
you want to take that logical? Because if we do, that means that
You're talking to a lawyer. You better watch
there
it.
was a
Someday.
step behind
That
that.
doesn't matter, because that's
I'm
a
not a
spiritual.
lawyer, by the way.
You're getting there.
Are you?
No, I'm not a lawyer.
Don't tell people that, huh?
One.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Okay, counselor.
Yes or no?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Can't afford it.
If you can't afford, a lawyer, one would be appointed to you. That's what I would end up with.
All right, so check it out.
Defense attorney.
I think what happens is this.
A defense attorney.
Wow.
That's what he was saying.
Public defender.
Pastor.
Oh, public.
I'm hearing you, Pastor.
Sorry.
I'm hearing
Isaac.
Now you know how I feel. That's exactly my
And that
point.
proves my point. I
That's
mean, your
exactly
point.
my
Proves
point.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
transparency. I appreciate
I've
it.
always known how you felt.
Jeez.
Not a surprise.
That's exactly my point.
Hey, but I like
You guys need to calm down.
I
It's been a wild conversation.
I like the whole like Pastor. You've taught us over and over. Well,
I don't know what I thought you.
it's pretty fun to research and to dig into. Humble yourself before Christ, and you can't be offended. And yeah, I like to just take
I
time.
take it
and
back. I've
look
been
into that.
offended this podcast until
Podcast
Yeah.
on the road that we
Yeah,
offended,
the-
Pastor.
A lot of times, yeah, no, but it works. It's real. It's true. I already know I suck.
but
like,
seriously-
even though-
You
seriously
know
though.
what? This podcast is turning into like
Wow.
the original conversations.
yeah.
You
No,
know
we didn't agree.
Yeah.
We
With Fernando down.
Fernando, yeah.
What did I do?
you
What
weren't there.
did you do?
Yeah.
You
So,
were somewhere else.
When you have a false sense in the community of peace, and when you have a false sense of, if I don't say anything, then we'll be at peace. If I don't say anything, then things are going to be okay. That doesn't help. And that means that you are afraid of saying what you need to say because of repercussions or because of oppositions or because of anything. And therefore you stay quiet because you want peace, but really it's not peace at all, because inside you want to explode, yet you feel you can't. you feel frustrated. I think when that culture is missing, the culture where you can peacefully, quietly, with good intention and respect, come to the person and say, I don't agree with you, or this is what I hear that you're saying, or this is the way I understand it. And you transmit what you're thinking and even what you understood that person said, at least to be clarified whether that's true or not. When that's missing, then you have a community that is not really united.
Animosity is like everywhere. Then
It's not going to be united because you're keeping something that otherwise could bring some clarity and some
constructive
freedom.
criticism.
Yeah, some freedom. The other side of that is that just because you know certain truths and just because just because of that doesn't mean that you have the right to just blurt it out in any way that
Rudely.
you think. Yeah, and even rudely.
Yeah.
Because then that comes across as, hey, you're not in this team. Like, you're trying to destroy this team, actually, by the way that you're saying it.
I think there's rapport behind it too, right? Like you can't just like out of the blue, like, hey, you go and constructively criticize. Like, they have to know, like, hey, like, there is love, there is a connection, there is that rapport, there is, like, we have that friendship.
Exactly.
Where it's like, hey, just as much as I'll drill into you, I will love on you, and you know that. You know what I mean?
And I'm in your team.
Yeah,
like,
we're working for the
opposed
same
to you.
thing. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to destroy you.
I want everything to get better.
Yeah, but there are certain things, and then I will speak of the things that I've worked. I will speak on the things that I have authority of, speaking, because I've worked on them myself, and I can come and say, hey, look, this is what worked for me. This is something that I dealt with, and I just want to give you advice on what needs to be done. As opposed to like, oh, I don't like this, and I'm just going to tell them what I think, just because I don't like them. That you lose you lose sensibility, you lose mercy when that happens. As opposed to like, hey, I've gone through this, or I'm dealing with this, and this is what's worked, and I see my brother and sister going through that too, or being that person. I can speak to them with that love and trust and that relationship. But I think the fear is I'm not going to say anything because it's not my place, it's not my business, it doesn't concern me until it does, right? Until it does and it affects you. So you build a lot of false peace by not saying what needs to be said that will make or bring change. What if the person doesn't want to change, though? What if they don't want to change? That's on them, right? That's difficult. You can't make somebody change. But if they know you love them and you trust them, then they might consider it. Like if you came to me, like any of you guys, and hey, Pastor, this and that, or I don't think you should have said that. And
no one will ever say that to you.
You misconstrue my words, and I know where you're coming from. Like, I know what place you're coming from. I know you don't hate me. I know you respect me. I know we have a trajectory. I know you've never shown anything in your nature. So why would I take it bad?
I agree with that 100%.
Why would I? I know that you want the best for me. The problem is when people don't see it that way. When they feel aggravated because they wear that on their sleeves and they feel like threatened instead of that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's revival. That's revival right there.
Man.
I like a wise man at this table told me one time that.
Like a real stable?
What?
This
No.
What did
At this table.
Stable.
Oh,
At this,
I heard
this table.
What did I tell you, Gil?
No.
I heard a stable, and I'm thinking, wait, you do horses?
No.
I mean, you have a dog, but Okay, I'm sorry. I misheard. I really did.
That we have to think of the vision, and sometimes too, if whatever's happening is whether you're being told, if it diverts or if it impedes the vision that's already been, then you can thank you, but we're going to continue to do this, and vice versa. Like, hey, we're like, let's not do that. Let's do this. This is what you have to be centered and know what we're doing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to be. I don't think anybody wants to feel useless, and I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And because we're so close and so intertwined with what we do, that we feel that if you attack or if you even say anything about what I do, then it's a direct attack on me, as opposed to like, maybe this person is trying to, or is looking out for me. So I think that when people do that, you do feel like you're useless, or like if I came to you, Gil, and you said like,
You probably have.
no, like if I came and say, hey, dude, yeah, don't play like that, or don't do that, or what do you know about guitar? What do you know about rhythm? What do you know about that stuff, right? You could take that attitude, which you never have. You never, just to be clear, you never have. But you could, and you would be right. You would be right if I came to you just because I don't like what you're doing, as opposed to like, I want the best. I have the best interest in your best interest in my mind, and therefore I see myself obligated by that interest to speak to you. Not because I want to accomplish anything of my own, but because I want to contribute to who you are if I can in a little bit.
Yeah.
But not everybody thinks like that. Everybody gets offended, and I don't like what you said, and who are you to tell me? And like, that's lack of culture.
Can I say something funny? You know who my biggest constructive criticizer is?
No.
My father. He's like,
As
hey,
he should.
I know, and he's like, hey, you suck at guitar. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it's time to you learn some new tricks. He's like, I'm tired of hearing you do the same ones. He's like, I hear you here at home, and then I hear you. And I was like, dang.
Wow. Did he say to you, that's why I'm going to Mexico? That's why I don't go to church.
He's hardcore. Yeah, he pushes me. He's all figure it out on the fly.
That's what every parent should do.
But he's not coming from a place.
No, of course not. Yeah. No.
And you give him that right.
No, he's just honest, and I appreciate it. Yeah.
But I think I'll finish with this. Like the more you are afraid to say that is because you're not doing anything good. You're maintaining a false peace.
Yeah.
That will eventually erupt, and that always brings this unity. And even though you say something to someone and they're like, "Oh wait, I didn't like that," it might feel like this unity. But if they really do know who you are and they appreciate you, then they're gonna say, "Okay, yeah, maybe this person has." Interest, best interest in his life or life for me.
Yeah.
I think that's important. What do you guys think? Anything else?
Oh.
I think we've done, I didn't do 2 services. You guys did 2 services, and you've been up since the morning. I've been up since the morning. So have you. And I think it's showing up in the podcast. If you're watching us, we are pretty tired.
Nonsense.
But we thank you for watching. If you've watched this long and you stay with us, that's absolutely
How
pretty
long
cool.
have it been?
It's almost 3 hours.
Wow.
15 more.
Finally, they're starting to get real.
15 more minutes, and we'll be at 3. But we thank you for watching. We hope you come back next time. And if you have any comments, any questions, or any constructive criticism, like Gil says, you can leave it down in the comment. And if you haven't, please subscribe. And that's it for now. Everybody say goodbye. All right.
That was fast.
All right. So God bless you. God bless you. That's funny. God bless you guys. Stay bright.
Salty.
God bless.